James Whale on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
You know, you say you can get medical cannabis, you can say it's going to be available, and then you try and get it.
No,
Doctors
can't
don't
get
know
it.
how to prescribe it. Pharmacists can't get hold of it to stock it. They're not allowed to sell it anyway. What a load of twaddle.
Come and see Ash.
Yeah, I mean,
He knows a bloke called Steve.
No, I've met a
He's got a
guy.
number.
No.
He'll get you some cannabis.
No, I don't. I don't know. You're right, Phil. I don't. Well, it's not Phil.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I know I used to smoke a lot of weed. I don't smoke any now for years. But we all know
Maybe you
people.
should.
Oh God, no! If I start weed, then I'm on to everything else. But we all know people that smoke it. Come on, guys, let's grow up a little bit here.
Well, the problem is that, you know, there are many things that are worse. And if you have an addictive personality, you're going to get addicted to everything, aren't you?
Well, alcohol's worse.
Yeah. But prohibition doesn't work. It's been proved time and time again.
And the gangs are the ones who thrive from it.
The ganja gangs.
The ganja gangs all out there, man.
But look what they're doing with making tobacco. So I'm glad you can go into pubs now and not have to get covered in smoke. I think that's great.
No, it's
But
retrograde step.
Look what's happened. No, it's not. You could have had smoking pubs.
A
though.
fag and a
What
pint,
wanted to-
nothing quite like it.
There is something very magical about having a little cheeky.
sake.
I might start smoking big fat cigars.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
fancy.
sophisticated.
I
Lovely
think
taste.
that would suit you with your beard.
He's joined the
Yeah.
army,
Yeah.
and he's going to be talking about that tonight.
I'm talking about my journey into. I'm becoming a what do they
A
call it?
nun?
Commando.
Oh, I think.
No, I'm going commando.
He's going commander.
Becoming a nun.
Yeah,
Why if you're a commando, why does that mean you don't wear pants? I mean,
Because
does it
there's-
chafe when you
Stay tuned for the
They
Iain
don't
Lee
wear
show
pants
after 10 tonight and
in
find
the
out
army.
why
It
Iain
would
doesn't
makes
wear
your trousers
pants.
dirty.
Former UKIP leader Nigel Farage says Mr Tusk is just scared and he doesn't want a no-deal Brexit.
They are now getting the heat from the German car manufacturers, the French wine producers, the Belgian chocolate makers, who were saying, for goodness sake, if the UK leaves with no deal, we are going to get hit with tariff at a time when the Eurozone is heading into recession.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together.
Why does life have to be so unfair?
Shanty Pony.
Don't be so silly, cat.
Me and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together, so happy together. And how is the weather? So happy together, we're happy together. So happy together, happy together, so happy together, so happy together. Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a pinball. He stands like a statue, becomes part of the machine, feeling all the bumpers, always playing clean.
You're a pervert.
Plays by intuition, the digit counters fall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
You can pack that in as soon as you like.
He's a pinball wizard, there has to be a twist. A pinball wizard's got such a supple wrist.
You're a pervert.
How do you think he does it? I don't know. What makes him so good?
Shag a
Ain't got
pony.
no distractions, can't hear no buzzers and bells. Don't see no lights a flashing, plays by sense of smell. Always gets a replay, never seen him fall. That deaf, dumb and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
No, I totally disagree with Sex with a Robot.
Wow! I thought I was the batty table king, but I just handed my pinball crown to him.
Aren't your balls normally held back by your willy?
Even on my favorite table, he can't beat my best. His disciples lead him in, and he just does the rest. He's got crazy flipper fingers, never seen him fall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
Language, Timothy.
I'm thinking about this whole world. I didn't know that I think about the love of this whole world. Lots of different people everywhere. And when I go anywhere, I see love, I see love, I see love. When girls get mad at boys and go, many times they're just putting on a show. But when they leave, you wait alone.
Find me on Skype.
You are there like everywhere, like everyone you see. Happy 'cause you're living and you're free. Now here comes another day for your love. I'm thinking about this whole world.
You're a pervert.
Well, you do think fucking in, don't you? I like mine quite hard, and then I like to put it all in my mouth at once.
Dirty pervert.
Why does life feel so unfair?
Late at night, I think about
Well, it was all over the shop, but what a shop to be all over, huh? That Who one confused me. There's something missing in there. The instruments. Thanks, Beach Boys. You never let me down. Apart from the album Love You, which some people love and I hate. Here's the go. Here's the go. Rock legend Roger Daltrey fears smartphones are brainwashing millions of people every day. The Who frontman is terrified, by the way, he's terrified that technology will control us like in Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie Terminator. He said, once AI controls the internet, we'll be in trouble. People addicted to their iPhones will be brainwashed. Hang on a second. Let's just see what line 2 has to say on that. Yes, line 2. Okay, he may have a point in that case. He said, Roger Daltrey said, and I quote you, Roger Daltrey from The Who, once AI controls the internet, we'll be in trouble. People addicted to their iPhones will be brainwashed. And the 0344 499 1000, by the way. And the 74-year-old is terrified. He's terrified that armies of robots will rampage through the country because, quotes, there's enough people looking at their iPhone for 8 hours a day. You don't need machines to kill them. You turn them round another way. Huh? He's terrified of armies of robots.
Oh, Roger, when did you become an old man? It used to be that he was public enemy number one, him and his terrible druggy music.
Roger, whose hit My Generation included the line, why don't you all fade away, also claimed, quotes, sitting is the new what? Sitting
is the new standing?
No.
Dancing?
No. Cancer.
Oh, no, I couldn't have got that.
Sitting is the new cancer. And we should ditch TV as it, quotes, sucks up your life. I agree with him on that. Oh, I agree with him on that.
I'm finding it very easy to ditch TV all of a sudden, aren't you?
TV sucks right now. I cannot get excited at more Ted Bundy. I can't get... and I'm not talking about Married with Children. I'm talking about the murderer. I can't... There's a thing... Netflix drops more Ted Bundy. Oh, jeez. Enough of the charming psycho killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est? I've had enough! TV is rubbish. Daytime TV is rubbish. Unless I'm doing a competition on there, which I might be on the way very soon. But TV's rubbish, man. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing.
Even the things I put on my player, right? And I purposefully go out there and record. I can't be bothered to sit and watch properly. I move about. I get up. I get my phone out.
He added, I watch people losing their lives down this thing. Phone, he means. Life isn't looking down, it's about looking up. He's right about that.
Well, he's a very short man.
He's right about that. I don't buy the robot armies killing people. I don't buy that, Roger. But he's right about looking up the number of people, and I've done it a little bit recently. I did it today, actually, and I nearly bumped into someone because I was looking at my phone. But I did what no one else does. I apologised to the person because it was my fault because I was looking down. I'm so sorry because no one else does. No one else does. And as soon as I realised I'd done it, I moved over to this. I pulled over. I was walking. I pulled over. I stood in the corner, looked at what I had to look at, and I put my phone away. Come on, guys. What is this? By the way, I'm going to make a return to Twitter soon. I'm coming back to Twitter soon. But here's the rub. Twitter is not a fun place. It's not a healthy place. But me and Kath have got a lot of shows coming up. We did a lot of hard emailing today.
When he says we, he means he.
Me. And we've lined up a tour. A tour, it's like 1-2 shows a month max, because I want to have, I want to see the kids a couple of weekends a month at least. So 2 shows a month max, some it's 1. But it's a tour, and some tickets are already for sale. If you go to iainlee.com/event, Manchester, we've sold 50% of the tickets.
Oh, well, that's great.
50% of the tickets for Manchester. We've got 20 tickets left for Brighton. We've got about 25 tickets left for Luton, right? I've just put up new shows. Shaftesbury Art Centre. We're playing the Shaftesbury Fringe.
Now, that's Dorset, and I'm thinking they're probably a bit posh there.
Exactly.
What they want
We're doing a shorter show. We've got 90 minutes in the venue. Okay. That includes getting in, setting up, doing a show, and getting out.
Okay.
So we've got about an hour and 10 minutes. I reckon we can get in and set up in 10 minutes. I reckon we can do it. So that's a theatre. We're playing a theatre, the Shaftesbury Art Centre Theatre. I have no idea if anybody listens to us in Dorset. I have no idea. So this is the punt. We've booked a room at great expense. Those tickets are up for sale now. iainlee.com/event. Glasgow isn't up yet. I'm just waiting for one more email to come back just to check timings, but Glasgow will be up very soon. Don't know when Belfast is going to be up. Oh, and London. We've put another London show up in June, all right? That's on at iainlee.com/event. Those are there. Those tickets are there. But I'm kind of thinking maybe we need to blitz it on Twitter. But here's the thing. I don't like Twitter. I think it's very unhealthy for me. I think it brings out the terrible, inappropriate behaviour in me, but also it attracts arseholes. It's just a dark, dark place. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to reactivate the Twitter, but Catherine, could I entrust you with my login, please?
Yeah.
Would you? Would you? Would you? But I don't want you then, like, trolling, like, my heroes. Don't be calling Mickey Dolenz from the Monkeys a tosspot.
And I won't do what you do when I leave my laptop open and, like, write things like, I'm an idiot.
I tell you what, why don't we start... Kerry and Alan, stay there in a bit. Why don't we start an era of peace, a Twitter truce betwixt us? I will reboot my Twitter. I've enjoyed not having it. I just think practically we're going to need to shift a few ticks. That's all. And I'll give you my Twitter login, so you're in charge of it,
right?
And you keep an eye on me. I will not abuse your Twitter. You can leave this studio to go to the bathroom to make drinks, to do your things with your computer open, unlocked, and I will not take advantage.
The moment, my darling, you breach that, I'm going to be sending all sorts of
Okay, that's fine. We shook hands on it, though, so now you have to. Now you have to leave the studio with your Twitter open.
Not now, I don't.
No, don't you?
When I get your login,
don't you?
Then we'll talk about it.
Don't you?
No.
Don't you? Let's go to Kerry. Good evening, Kerry.
Hello, Kath.
Hello,
Kerry.
You were talking about rubbish stuff that you've been watching. I thought I might like to share something with you, some good stuff that I've watched recently.
There we go. Yes, please do.
How are you on Garry Shandling?
Are you talking about the two-part documentary? I've seen it.
Have you?
It's good though. Was it the Zen Diaries of Garry Shandling?
It was.
Very inspirational.
I haven't seen it. I will.
No, mate, watch it. It's brilliant. It inspired me to do what I do infrequently. It inspired me to do it again for a while. Keep a journal.
Yeah.
But then, of course,
it started with his journals, and I don't think they expected it to be ending with his death, did they, when they started the documentary? But
hang on. Did they not start it after he died?
Well, no, because the first scene is where he's handed his diaries over to
no. Doesn't he? Isn't the video because the video looks like it's filmed on VHS? I thought that was him saying, "Look, if I ever die, here's the videos, here's the diaries. You do what you want." That's how I interpreted it.
Right.
And Apatow goes, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever." And then he does die several years later.
Right. It's funny that because I thought they were going to do a sort of biography of him, through a documentary. Yeah. And he said, right, knock yourself out with his diaries, but you interpreted it differently to me.
That's all right, because it was since I saw it, but if I remember it correctly, I thought the video footage of him doing that was like VHS style-y.
Oh, well, I see, I wouldn't know.
It makes very, very little difference.
No, it doesn't really.
It's still a great, inspiring show.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't know very much about him. I did like him on Larry Sanders, and I didn't know an awful lot more about him. Larry
Sanders is great, and encouraged me to buy the box set, and I only got through series 1, which means I've got another 3 or 4 seasons to go.
I might do the same then.
Catch up. It's so good. Also, the Garry Shandling show is brilliant.
I don't think I know about that one.
This is the theme to Garry Show, the opening theme to Garry Show. Garry called me up and asked if I would write his theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? This is the theme to Garry Shandling Show. Do you not know that song?
No, I don't.
I only know it because you've sung it before.
This is the theme to Garry Show, the opening theme to Garry Show. How does the second verse go? Hang on. This is the theme to Garry Show, the opening theme to Garry Show. How we're getting... How does... Oh, flipping it. Sorry, guys. Can you bear with me? Garry
Now
Shandling.
look what's happened.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it on YouTube. I've got to do it. I've got to take a run. Hang on. This is the theme to Garry Show, the opening theme to Garry Show. Garry called me up and asked if I would write his theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? This is the theme to Garry Shandling Show. No, then it introduces the whistling bit. This is the theme to Gary Show, the opening theme to Gary Show. Gary called me up and asked if I'm around the theme song. I'm almost
Was it
halfway
before
finished.
or after Larry Sanders that?
Garry Shandling Show. Before. That was the theme to Garry Shandling Show, but I missed a bit out.
Never mind.
No, mind. Hang on a minute. Let's just Ken?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Ian.
Good evening. Good news. Do you remember the theme tune to It's Garry Shandling Show?
I've never even heard that name, Ian. I don't know who you're talking about.
Mate. Stay there, Ken. I will come back to you in a minute. Alan.
Hello.
Do you remember the theme tune to It's Garry Shandling Show?
I'm afraid I don't.
Man, we're in big trouble here. We are in very big trouble.
If Mr. Memory don't know it, we're screwed.
This is the theme to Gary Show, the opening theme to Gary Show. Gary called me up and asked if I would write his theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? This is the theme to Gary Shandling Show. This is the theme to Gary Show, the opening theme to Gary Show. Now we're getting to the part where I start to whiz. No.
You're making this up.
No, I'm not. I'm not making it up. And I will not YouTube this, because Roger Daltrey is right. We are turning into a nation of robots and robot army killers. And I will not kill. Roger. I will not. I will remember the theme tune to Garry Shandling Show. I will do it as though we are stuck in a pub in 1991. We haven't even got WAP-enabled phones. I will do it. I will do this, Carrie. This is my mission tonight. What was the other thing that you'd seen?
Please don't let it have a theme tune.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. Well, there's a good documentary about Robin Williams as well, actually.
Oh, that's the next one. I'm going to look for that one.
Yeah, I've some of that.
Because I didn't realise he'd worked with Robin Williams in the early days.
Yeah, all that lot.
You know,
Steve Martin and Billy Crystal, all that lot worked together.
And your favourite, Andy Kaufman, right at the beginning.
Here's the thing. Do you know who I miss?
No.
I miss Billy Crystal. What's Billy Crystal's up to these days?
He's not dead.
No, I know, but...
He does like the Oscars now and
again.
No,
he doesn't. There is no host for the Oscars this year.
He has done.
Yeah, like 15 years ago he has done. So where is Billy Crystal's...
Monsters, Inc.
Now.
He's in Monsters, Inc.
Billy Crystal's has the best line in Spinal Tap. You know he's in Spinal Tap, right? He has the best line. He's a mime artist. He's the head of a mime troupe working at a party. And he says to he cuffs one of the other mime artists round the head and says, "Come on, mime is money, mime is money." It's a great line. It's such a good film. Have you seen Spinal Tap, Carrie?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
No. I'm educating myself slowly.
Go and watch it, Kerry. Thank you very much indeed. James says, why are there no Ian Lee shows in the Midlands?
Because of you.
Because of you, James. The Midlands sucks. It's full of deviants and perverts, and I will not be going there. So, thanks. Thanks for reminding me. 0344 499 1000. Particularly keen to speak to anyone tonight who can remember the theme to Garry Shandling Show. No cheating, though. Okay? No cheating. Don't Google it. Otherwise, you're fulfilling the Daltrey Prophecy, which, by the way, would be a great book. The Daltrey Prophecy. So don't be a killer robot. Don't be a sex bot. Be a memory man. Be that. Who is that guy with the moustache? The memory man. Yeah. Brendan or Duncan. There's the irony. I can't remember the memory man's name. He had a moustache.
I emailed him once.
Did you?
Yeah, for this.
Well, what was his name? Oh,
I can't remember.
It was Brendan or Duncan.
The memory man.
Brendan, and you could show him. You could just show him a pack of cards. Jump, 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 jump. He'd recite it straight back to you. It was what an act. But he did that thing that I don't think works, where he'd go right. So it'd be like the first card would be the 4 of diamonds. So he would go in his head. He'd go right. I was buying 4 diamonds for my wife, who is a queen, and she likes digging with spades in the back garden, and she also was a member of 2 clubs. And he'd do that. I've tried that. That don't work because that's more stuff to remember. Because you've got to remember the story. That's insane. Hang on a minute. Cleo, what can you help us with? The name of the memory man or the theme tune to Garry Shandling? Oh, jeez. Jeez, phones. Hang on, let's try again. Cleo? Cleo! The hell is wrong with this phone system, man? Cleo! I'm going to call that guy back. Imagine having a phone system that... I don't have the facility... Right, screw it. Adverts. Call him back.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Killer robot armies. It's the Daltrey prophecy. He thinks it will happen. We're going to talk about a guy who didn't clean his penis for 24 years.
Oh, my God.
But the most pressing point is the theme tune to Garry Shandling, I believe. The phone system here is knackered. So here's the thing, guys. Do phone in. If you phone in and the phone goes dead, it's not us. We're not ignoring you. We've not cut you off unless you're one of the bands. The phone system's completely cack. Here, phone box 7 or whatever it is, you're rubbish. And it means that sometimes the phones don't work when we answer them. So we will try and call you back. We've got Sam who knows what he's doing. I'm like, the other way, what are doing it? Yeah. He will try and call you back. But if he doesn't, call in again. And everybody's welcome. Yes, Cleo?
Do you know what I was watching this afternoon?
I don't know, 2 dogs humping?
After that, I was watching... It's the Garry Shandling show.
Okay, fine. Well, then don't even talk to me and don't even sing that bit, because that bit was just like completely out of context. Sing the theme tune. Here you go. Here comes the theme tune.
I can't.
What?
Oh, why not?
I've forgotten the theme tune already. Because that bit at the end where it leads into this whistling, you're right, it does mention the whistling.
Yeah.
But it totally throws you. However...
You watched it today, mate. I watched it 30 years ago.
Do you know what's even worse?
Go on.
There's one episode where Gary is sort of like, Subterranean Homesick Blues, that video?
Yeah.
He's sort of doing that with the words to the theme tune.
So you've seen the words being done, and you've heard the song being done, and you cannot do it.
And I've still forgot the words.
Yeah, exactly. You made me want to
sing what you know. That's the advice that I was given as a young songwriter. Sing what you know.
Look, the DVD is actually there, and I can actually play it if you want.
No, we're not doing it, because we're not becoming part of Roger Daltrey's robot army.
See, I only know what you sung.
Goodbye, Cleo. Scumbag.
You're a massive disappointment.
Scumbag. Well, he's a wee disappointment. Let's go to Ken. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, Ian and Catherine.
Yes. You sound a bit bunged up, Ken. I've got a bit of a sore throat going on here.
Yeah.
It's
going around.
Just recovering. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it's not too bad.
No, I'm okay, man. It's what I do when I get the cold is I double up in garlic, and that seems to help. Garlic in the hot water.
Now, okay. Now, do you put the garlic in the hot water, or do you eat the garlic and then have hot water?
No, I take garlic tablets regularly every day, but when I get a dose of the cold, Ian, I double up. Some nights I even have about six capsules before I go to bed.
My goodness gracious me! Well, there'll be no vampires around your neck of the woods.
Good one.
Oh, I'll use that.
No vampires anywhere near me. No vampires.
For a multitude of reasons. What you got for us, Ken? What do you want to preach, brother?
A very important statement by Mr. Tusk today. I think it's Donald Tusk. He's one of the main leaders of the EU organisation.
Yeah.
And it's been in the news regularly since earlier tonight.
It's a good quote, isn't it?
And to paraphrase what he said, roughly, he said, there is a special place in hell for all Brexiteers who had no plan of exit.
Yeah. It's a great line. It's a great line. It's a great line because you know he's deliberately said it to wind people up. And the fellow he's with says, you're going to get a lot of stick from the British press for that. And he laughs. And the laugh is what's got, like, Farage and all those people so angry. The laugh. I think good for him. It's a great line.
It's a great line. It draws people's attention. But I would like to discuss this a wee bit further, if you don't mind.
Well, please do, sir.
For example, about 2 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago, you said, what the hell is wrong with this phone system?
What the hell?
Do you remember saying that?
I do remember saying it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what the crap?
So you've mentioned health tonight.
Yes.
And I was out today, and in fact, every day when I go out in the town or in the buses or in shops, or listen to the radio or TV, people always mention hell. Have you noticed that, Ian?
Yes, because it's a mythical place, and that means something bad and lousy, and it's kind of lost its original meaning, and now it's just a very gentle cuss. Like bloody. Bloody, of course, means the blood of Christ, as we know. But when people say it, they don't mean the blood of Christ. They just mean, flipping it, bloody hell.
I spoke to my dad yesterday, and he was looking after all 4 of his grandchildren. I said, how are you getting on, Dad? And he said, it's hell with a lid off.
Yeah, they don't mean literal hell, which is a myth anyway. But go on.
But the point is here, where does this word come from? Do you know who told us about this place? Jesus. Did you know that in the Bible, in 46 verses, he warned us about the possibility? He warned mankind, every one of us.
Does he use the word? Does he use the word hell?
No, he was speaking Aramaic.
So he doesn't use the word hell, because the word hell, isn't the word hell just like a significantly more recent invention, a word? Because the word hell isn't in the Bible, is it? I don't think.
Of course it is. It's many times in the Bible. But
Jesus never says it.
He actually said Hades.
Right. Okay. So hell. So when was the word hell invented?
It's Germanic Old English.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, the authorised version, when they translated the Greek text, they translated Hades as hell.
Okay.
They also translated Gehenna and the lake of fire as hell.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I say bloody hell, I don't mean the blood of Jesus Christ in Hades. It's just like me expressing a thing. It's lost all meaning. It changes its meaning.
And did you know that Gehenna was referring to the Valley of Hinnom, which was a rubbish dump outside Jerusalem? So it was just a kind of approximation.
I like a good rubbish dump. You find some great stuff in a rubbish dump. They're not called rubbish dumps anymore. They're called recycling centres.
Not even.
And you're not allowed to take stuff from them. That's torture for me. I go there. I tell you what's hell, Ken, is going to a rubbish dump, a tip, or a recycling centre, seeing wonderful, wonderful treasures, and not being allowed to take them. That's hell. That's literal hell.
No, Ian, listen. If you read Luke chapter 16, if you want to take the time and read it for yourself, Jesus opened a window into Hades. Now, in that window that he revealed, through wonderful revelation, he revealed to us that in hell, the souls are totally conscious.
By the way, this is a massive buzzkill. We're doing a pop-in, fizzing. Hey, have you seen the film Hell's a Poppin'?
No, but have you seen the
That's a
Passion
movie.
of the Christ?
I tell you what. I'll read that bit of the Bible if you watch the movie Hell's a Poppin'. How's about that?
Well, how can I see that? I don't have that. Is it a CD or what? I don't have that.
I think it's probably on Netflix. Hell's a Poppin'. It's a great film. It's an old 40s musical. Very funny film. Very, very funny film.
Well, you look up Luke chapter 16 at the end of the chapter, but listen, just before...
You tell me when you've watched Hell's a Poppin', and then I'll read that bit from Luke. We got a deal?
I'm not on Netflix or internet, so I couldn't get involved.
Well, I've not got a Bible, so I could, you know what I mean? But I could make the effort. If you could make the effort, depends how serious you are about me reading the Bible.
I'll tell you what, you send me a CD of the film and I'll send you a Bible.
I don't have a CD of the film, and I don't need you to send me a Bible. You put the effort in to watching Hell's a Poppin' from 1945, and then I will put the effort in to finding the tracts to which you refer online.
Well, just let me end with these maybe two sentences, if you don't mind.
How long are the two sentences? They could be an hour long each. Imagine, they could be. Go on.
The reason that Jesus Christ died for our sins was that he doesn't want anyone to go to hell.
Okay.
He died in our place. He offers us forgiveness. He rose from the dead. And those who genuinely believe in him and ask forgiveness, Ian, he delivers us from the judgment of hell.
Okay, all right. Nice one, Ken. Thanks for that. Tutty bye. There we go. You see, we got on well with Ken. I mean, it's all nonsense, I think, personally. I think it's all nonsense, as I think all of the religions are nonsense.
Just be excellent to each other.
Just, come on, guys. Just dig it. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. We need a musician. Nigel, you'll know the theme tune to the Garry Shandling show.
No.
OK, stay there. We'll come back to you in a second. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, boss. Hi, Kath.
Hello.
No.
I'm in a good mood tonight because I've been watching Netflix.
Oh, is Hell's a Poppin' on? Have you seen Hell's a Poppin'?
No.
It's a funny film. It's a Broadway musical, and they made it into a film, I think in about 1945. Can't remember who's in it.
Is it black and white?
It's black and white, but it's like an old zany kind of musical. It's songs and dance, and it's funny, and they break the fourth wall.
Has it got synchronised swimmers? I like those ones.
No, it's like a proper... it's proper nuts. Even now, it's like... Whoa, why are they talking why are they breaking the fourth wall so much?
Are they actually in hell?
No, it's got nothing to do with hell.
Oh.
Hell's a Poppin'. Can't really remember what OK, so we've got 2 phone-ins on the go at the moment. First one is... What's the first one, Alan?
What's the main tune of Garry Shandling show?
Correct. And what's the second phone-in?
Best films on Netflix.
No, not best films on Netflix. What is this? BBC Three Counties Radio. They've got a mention on Radio 4 today. The head of BBC Local Radio was defending BBC Three Counties Radio.
What's they done?
Oh, the head of BBC Local Radio now is what was the phrase they were using? Horrible BBC phrase. It was something like. We want to own the local conversation. Something like that, right? And the host, it was the media show, and the host of the media show said, but do your local radio stations, some of the regions are quite odd. 3 counties. Who says they live in the 3 counties? And the head of the BBC Local Radio then went on to say, well, it's very, what 3 counties does is great. That's where I started my job there. And what it does is it really captures, it owns the local conversation, and it's very diverse and captures. And I'm thinking, BBC Three Counties Radio is one of the whitest radio stations, as well as this one, one of the whitest radio stations ever, in what is a very, very diverse ethnic area.
And also, it's Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire, Buckinghamshire, but it doesn't reach vast swathes.
No.
I mean, Bedfordshire is well covered.
Yeah.
The rest, very fringy. There were some places where we were told, certainly when I was there early doors, don't bother going there because they can't hear you.
It was, when I was there for a long time, it was in Luton, which is a very, very big Asian population. How many local Asian presenters did we have? 0. How many Asian presenters did we have? Sometimes 1.
Well, they're scared because the radar figures are coming out.
I don't think Asians are scared of the radars, are they? Are they?
Not inherently so, no.
Well, I wonder what the radar figures for this quarter would be.
Probably for us, a load of old crap.
I know what they are.
What are they?
Can't tell you.
For us?
Embargoed, innit?
Well, hang on. Well, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. OK, now lift... OK, well, I cannot say whether that was a thumbs up or thumbs down because they're unbongoed, Alan.
Till midnight.
He's right. But
after then, I don't really want to tell you because there's some other figures to be amalgamated.
I cannot say I cannot say whether Catherine just showed me a thumb up or thumb down. But, Catherine, keep raising that thumb up until you feel you need to stop. So this is where we were last time. Then keep raising.
OK. Are we doing quarter on quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
All right, so...
OK, so starting very low.
And here's the top, right?
She's almost gone downstairs.
No, this is the baseline,
OK,
right?
the baseline.
The baseline.
Because I'm all about the bass, no treble. I've got a big fat bum, no boobies.
So here's the...
That's what that song is. That's what that song is about.
Yeah,
that's what that song is about. But she's
in China.
In China, yeah.
Right, so that's the top bit.
Yeah.
That's the middle bit.
Yeah. Oh, OK. Year on year.
No, quarter on quarter.
Year on year, please. All right, so...
but you've got to remember...
Yeah.
Jungle Surge.
Jungle, cock, rock. OK, well, but hang on, I'm disappointed with... for example, if her thumb had gone up a little bit there, which I cannot say, because it's unbongoed, I'm disappointed because last time we went down like shed loads.
Yeah, but we're still being dragged back by those weird figures before.
OK.
So, chill.
I don't really care.
I'm not going to say which way it went, but chill.
All right, Alan. Well, thanks for your call, mate.
Thank you.
There we go. 03444991000 Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad.
Oh, no.
A 24-year-old bartender... Well, he's not been tending to his bar.
Oh, dear.
A 24-year-old bartender has admitted to never cleaning his penis. The man, known only as Zach Dirtycock, claims to have girls throwing themselves at him and has bedded 40 lasses. Lasses? So he's travelled back to the 1800s in Scotland.
I was going to say, just northern.
Lasses. Despite having sex for years, God, he must be tired.
Yeah.
Zach visited Dr. Naomi Sutton of E4's hit show, The Sex Clinic.
Oh, I see.
After feeling his penis had failed him when he became unable to finish due to his foreskin being too tight.
Oh, my God, I don't want to know.
He even thought his penis may still be growing, with his foreskin being unable to keep up. But an examination by Dr. Naomi... Ooh, gosh, OK, this language may be triggering. An examination by Dr. Naomi revealed Zach had a serious case of smegma. It's funny saying stuff like that, because that gagging noise you can hear is not a joke. Kath has a very weak gag reflex.
Oh, God.
Build-up of dead skin, oil, and moisture, which was making his foreskin too sensitive to pull back.
That's nature's way of saying, pack that in and go and have a wash.
Zach, who was also...
Get a nail brush on it.
And some Dettol.
A chisel.
Shove it in a bottle of Dettol and chisel. Zach, who also admitted to having a host of STIs, told the medic...
Oh, God.
He was unaware he was meant to clean down below. Can I say something without going into too much detail, right? When I was in the jungle, you only had a cold shower. It was a cold, cold shower. And I wasn't stripping naked for nobody, right? By day 3, I was aware that I needed to be a little bit more thorough with the shower.
Oh, my God. Can you not go and sit in the, plunge pool for a bit?
I was not prepared to do that. So
would that not do it, just sitting and having a soak?
No, because you've got to...
Oh, my God.
You've got to pull back.
Oh, my God.
You've got to pull back. It's airtight. It's watertight. So, yeah, after day 3, I was like...
Like a horse, because you have to go up and...
Nothing like a horse, unfortunately.
Because there's a woman who's a specialist at that, isn't there? She was in the papers last week.
Yes.
Because you have to go up there and find it, and then give it
Julia Hartley-Brewer, isn't it? Isn't that a hobby?
Wow. So
he was unaware he was meant to clean down below. Oh, we don't know his name, but there's a picture of the lad.
And he's going to be on telly.
Zach visited the clinic.
So let's just get this straight.
Yes.
He's a catch, and literally because he's riddled with STIs, and he probably has got a very, very, very stinky nether region.
Just a reminder, he has a build-up of dead skin, oil and moisture, a serious case of smegma. Do you want a bucket?
I haven't had any tea, so I might be all right.
Well, there's some sausages in the fridge. They might be off, though. Got some mayonnaise you can dip in.
No, stop it now.
Zach
Come on.
visited the clinic. This is on the Daily Mail. Zach visited the clinic, complaining of having a nasty smell, as well as pain and irritation at the tip of his penis. He first met with Nurse Sarah, who he told that after intercourse, he has to untuck his foreskin from behind his shaft. Although sometimes easy, Zach added he would spend days trying to position his foreskin back into place.
And he didn't have an inkling that something might be wrong there?
When he questioned whether his penis was enlarging, Nurse Sarah said, "I think you've stopped growing now, babe."
I love nurses so much.
Sarah then passed Zach over to I think you've stopped growing now, babe. Sarah then passed Zach over to Dr. Naomi, who tried to examine his penis. However, this was causing him too much pain. Zach was eventually forced to take matters into his own hands.
With a Karcher power washer.
But was still only... Dustbuster. Was still only able to pull his foreskin back. I mean...
I'm David Babcock and I got my willy stuck in a hoover.
Now we know why. Was still only able to pull his foreskin back some of the way and admitted to never being able to completely retract it. Once diagnosed with smegma... Diagnosed?
God. Is that on his permanent record?
Sarah asked Zach how often he washes down below. Zach said he cleans the shaft of his penis and his testicles, but worries beneath the foreskin is too sensitive for him to scrub with a flannel and some soap. Ugh. They're very friendly here. So we've got Nurse Sarah saying, "I think you stopped growing now, babe." Then, then Sarah comes back in and says, "If you take nothing away today, just this: wash your penis, darling." Zach claims... Now, here's the thing, and this is a serious point, OK, because you have to tell... Not everyone can work this stuff out for yourself. And you
I wouldn't know this. I
No.
haven't got little boys.
Serious
I would
point.
think that someone would have told me, but I'm not from a family where little boys were ever involved.
No, I have told my boy, because my boys get in the bath, they jiggle about and they play in the bath and that's it. They get out and I say, no, boys, just get the flannel. You want to wash under your arms because you get a bit sweaty there and it can get a little bit smelly. And you just want to wash around your willy and give your willy a bit of a clean because it can get dirty down. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
See what you say. Zach claims no one has ever told him to pull back his foreskin and wash beneath it, and that is the sad. That is the sad. It's having a laugh, but that is the sad thing. If no one's explained it to you, I guess not everyone works it out.
No, so literally.
Viewers of the show were disgusted, with one taking to Twitter with, "OMG, he slept with 40 girls." Others were astounded by what it must be like to go on national television only to be told you need to clean your penis better.
God, how embarrassing. He thought he was going to be told that he was the amazing, ever-growing man.
But Zach is no stranger to problems down below, with him also admitting to having previously had the clap and catching, quote, gonorrhea from some lass. OK. Let's go to Nigel in Maidstone. Good evening, Nigel.
Hello?
Good evening, Nigel.
Oh, good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Nigel.
You were softly spoken. That's why I couldn't hear you.
Softly spoken is the night of my love tonight, and I wonder what she's doing with another guy, and I wonder if she thinks of me when she's holding his hand. Who's that by?
I don't know.
Yeah, just made it up.
I was going to say it sounded like an original hit.
And it was good. It was good.
Well, it was kind of...
it was good.
Meandering. I was going to say, Ian, I got problems with my... I got problems down below as well.
Right, seriously, I'm going out because I can't.
I got problems down below.
It's not dirty. I'm not going to say anything dirty, but I noticed that my veins have got much more swollen in my penis.
OK.
You know the veins that are further down, not on the end?
Yes, I do.
Further down. And I think once I went to the doctor and he said it was quite normal if you have sex too much. They can swell up.
Or masturbate too much.
Well, whatever you do, whatever.
Well, yeah, no, the veins down the side of the penis, they can get quite big.
So the more you exercise, the bigger they get, like the biceps in your arms and things.
Yes, the veins on the penis are exactly the same as the biceps on the arms. Listen, I wouldn't worry about it. If you've been to see a doctor...
That doesn't mean you've got cancer, then?
Probably not. If you've been to see a doctor and shown it to the doctor and they said it's all cool, then go along with the doctor's advice.
I did have the...
And here's the thing, and you raise an interesting point, Nigel, because we don't talk about our willies enough.
No,
we don't talk about our balls enough. It's good that we're having this conversation, and we're having a little bit of a laugh. Of course we are, because we're British. But it's good that we're having this conversation because men do worry: is that normal? Is that supposed to? Here's the thing: when I was 13, 14, 15, I didn't know what the hell was going on with my penis. I didn't.
And the other bits and pieces as well.
Yeah, all the other bits and pieces.
Have you got a lump? Does it mean I've got testicle cancer or something like that?
I don't think you've got statistical cancer.
No, not me, myself. But men can worry about that.
No, of course. And if anyone finds a lump down in their balls or around their old fella, then go to a doctor as soon as you can and get them to have a look.
I always keep an eye on mine, so I always check.
Yes, man.
It's in the post.
There we go. Good lad. Well, you keep an eye on your penis, and that saves everyone else having to do it.
I wanted to do a song for Mum, because I've been thinking about Mum.
There we go. There we go. There's a segue from the veins on your penis to a song for your mum. That's what life is all about.
So,
very Freudian slip.
Fire away, then.
Well, hang on, because we've got to go to the news in a minute. So maybe we could come back after the news and do it?
Without messing the song up.
Without messing the song up. Maybe we could do that, if that's possible.
Yeah, it's only about 3 minutes anyway.
That's fine. But just my suggestion would be after last night, just have it a little bit quieter.
Yes,
it was distorting last night. It was uncomfortable on the ears. It was making my ears bleed.
All right, I've got it set up a bit different.
Okay, all right then. Catherine's back in the room.
Yeah, now all the willy chat's over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the way.
All right, Nigel, listen, stay there. We'll come. You'll be the first.
It's Dolly Parton. I listen to a record all day long.
Okay, that's great. Don't know what happened there. I think Nigel broke. If someone can reboot him during the news, and then when we come back, we'll have a bit of Nigel, and then when we got... Oh! Is that Ollie the Vile Troll? Good, because I want to speak to him. I need to call him out. Remind me when Ollie comes on. Don't tell him this would be like a trap. This is going to be a wicked trap. When Ollie comes on, something he said the last time he was on, and I've been thinking about it.
Oh, have you?
And I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to destroy the troll when he comes on. But don't tell him. It's our secret, right? Because otherwise he'll hang up with a bottle. It's going to destroy. I've got a wicked argument that is going to blow him away, and he will be crying. He's going to cry on the phone. So please stop it, please, forgive me. And I go,
but no one tell him.
Don't tell him. Don't anyone on Twitter tell him, please. Thank you very much. This is the Late Night Alternative. Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle, Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever not for better, and some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments for lovers and friends. I still can recall some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. No, I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about.
Hang on a second. So I've never heard of this band before. Kippington Lodge. I was trying to find some Beatles vocals only, and this popped up. Kippington Lodge, right? So I was reading about them. Kippington Lodge became Brinsley Schwartz. Now, who was in Brinsley Schwartz?
No.
Nick Lowe.
Ah.
Now, Nick Lowe's in Kippington Lodge, and I'm just reading it, and you I don't know Nick Lowe that well, but I know his voice, right? And in the backing vocals on the high harmony, you can hear Nick Lowe doing the high harmony. I'm going to shut up, play the rest of the song, keep listening out for Nick Lowe.
In my life, I love you more. I love them all. Yes,
That was great. Did you like that?
That had more balls in it than the original.
Well, the original's stunning, though, isn't it?
It is beautiful.
Oh, it's
but that was a lot more
It was like
raunchy.
it was like the Small Faces.
Mhm.
It was like the Stevie Marriott doing it. Did you like that? I love that.
It was, yeah, you're right. It was Tin Soldiering.
I thought it was great, man. Kippington Lodge, terrible name for a band. Never heard of them. Brinsley Schwartz I've heard of. Never heard of them. Wowzers. We got Mo, we got George, we got Ollie. Oh, I'm going to destroy it. This is going to be great. Yeah. Mo, are we... No, this is... Are you a new Mo? Hello?
Hi there.
Have we spoken before?
No, we haven't.
OK, this is Numo.
OK.
This is Numo. Mo, we're going to come to you in a bit. We promised Nigel top billing in this hour, and this is what you got. Good evening, Nigel. Let's have the song for Mum.
Yeah.
Put your penis to one side.
Oh, no, please.
Ian,
yes?
Can I just ask you something? Have you heard of the Red Dragon radio station in Cardiff?
Yes, I have, yes. My friend
But
used
it's
to
not.
work there.
It's their Heart Radio now. It used to be
Yeah,
called
they've
the
all
Red
been taken
Dragon.
over, and I think Evan Bauer just bought a load more radio stations, killing the local vibe.
And I think it was about 10 or 15 years ago, I used to do jingles on there with the keyboard and making jingles up for various people.
That's great.
And I was on there for a long time. And I had a regular slot nearly every night.
I find how your brain works. Genuinely, I find it fascinating. I do.
So it's Heart Radio now, isn't it?
Probably, I don't know. All the local radio stations have been
There's one in,
homogenised.
it is Heart Radio. And
Let's hear. Listen, so we've got a lot of calls, Nigel. Let's hear the song for your mum.
Here we go then.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's not Carrickfergus, is it?
No, sounds very similar.
Is it Titanic? Yeah. Is it the song you did last night?
Tried, yeah.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on.
Is it slower than the original?
I think the time is slowing down when Nigel sings.
Far across the distance and spaces between us, you.
We've sold 3 tickets for Shaftesbury already.
That's good.
That's not
It's
bad.
almost full now, is it?
Only another 155 to go. It's not till July. Book up. It's Fringe Festival. It's only £8. It's as cheap as shows we're doing this year. £8. IanLee.com/events. Just bring it down a little bit. I've been reading, so we're going to go and see Kiss in July.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I've been reading something, and when I read it, I was very disappointed, right? But it turns out, something that another artist we're seeing later in the year also does, right? And I wasn't bothered when I found out, right? So I've been reading. Yeah, I've been reading a lot that Kiss have been because Paul Stanley's voice was screwed. He died about 5 years ago, and he's miming to some of the songs. And there's people like, there's this guy on Twitter called Captain Janks who's like, thinks he's friends with Howard Stern. He's an idiot and he's a loser. And he's an a-hole. And he's like tweeting, Gene Simmons, everything you ever said is a lie. I believed in you. I mean, believe in Gene Simmons. Jeez, I mean, wow. So people are getting really upset, and I got quite upset thinking, that's a con. But then I remembered we'd had the conversation about Cher, who does a lot of lip-syncing.
Yeah, but the thing
and we weren't bothered.
No, because Cher will be doing a spectacular, won't she?
Oh, Kiss will be doing a spectacular.
They won't be straddling cannons, will they?
Oh, hang on a minute. Gene Simmons flies up 100 feet in the air and does a bass solo 100 feet in the air.
All right, fair enough.
Paul Stanley flies across the arena to the other end where he has a little platform and does a little I was made for loving
you, baby.
Yeah.
You were made for loving me.
The fake Ace Frehley, Tommy Thayer. That was great, Nigel.
Was that better?
That was a lot better, mate. Yes.
I put the speaker on the phone a bit further away from the
Perfect.
speaker.
It was very powerful, very heartfelt.
It's a very powerful machine that I've got here.
Yeah, well, I was talking about your voice.
Your lungs.
Your lungs.
You meant my voice?
Yeah.
Well, I'm only singing half the power I've got in my voice.
All right, Nigel. Well, listen, we've got to go. We've got to move on, mate. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for enjoying it.
Thanks for giving us the update on your penis. 0344 499 1000. We'll go to Mo next. Tell Mo we'll go to him next. No. Fake Ace Frehley, Tommy Thayer, will fire rockets from his gun.
Wow. I want to get, like, a Tasley T-shirt or something. I'm definitely...
Kiss?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. I've decided.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Where's Mo gone? Come on the microphone, Sam.
No
Mo.
So line dropped off. I phoned back.
Sorry, you did what?
The line went, so I phoned them back.
You phoned him back a minute ago.
Oh, Sam, it's finally happened.
There you go. Don't forget to pull it back and wash it.
Phone back. Woman answered. I said, "Can I speak to Mo?" And then under her breath, I could hear, "Who's Mo?"
Oh.
And there was a guy in the background, and then the reply was, "He's gone out."
Oh, there was no Mo.
There was no Mo, he was faking for the show. Then his mum caught him out and told him to go. Mo. I haven't got anything. Let's go. What were we saying? Yeah, well, I might watch the film. It's a great film. Kiss made a very funny movie called Detroit Rock City. And, anyone else, Ollie, have you seen Detroit Rock City, the Kiss movie?
Hello?
Hello, Ollie?
Hello?
Have you seen Detroit Rock City? The Kiss are in it at the end. They don't star in it. They kind of produced it. It's very funny. It's like a teen movie about some kids in 1976 going to see Kiss. There's a great line in it. One of the Kiss fans is getting beaten up. Is about to get beaten up in the shop, and the Kiss fan says, "Oh, I will beat." And he's like, it's him on his own, and he's got a load of bad kids opposite him. He goes, "Yeah, well, I'll beat you all up." And they say, "Yeah, you and whose army?"
Oh,
Kiss Army, of course. That's the name of the fans. The fan club, Kiss Army.
That doesn't really work, does it?
Kiss Army works.
Not very military.
Oh, shut the front door!
Take that makeup off and cut your hair.
No. Well, people thought that Kiss were actually devil worshippers. You know what people thought Kiss stood for? The Christians in America thought Kiss stood for
something satanic.
Knights in Satan's service.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a lot of bad press about that. Anyway, Ollie, I'd like to destroy you now, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, I've been preparing.
Okay, good. We were talking, weren't we, about what I thought was the disappointing reboot of BG, Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Can you remind me how that ended, please?
What? You can't just go, "Oh, I'm better because I remember Battlestar Galactica."
Not how the conversation ended, how Battlestar Galactica ended, which from now on I'll refer to as BG.
They got on Earth, didn't they? And
so they've got all this futuristic technology, all these spaceships, right?
On a TV program,
Yeah, on this TV program, right? And then they're trying to find a planet that's safe for them, right? Because the Cylons are trying to kill them.
Of course they are.
The Cylons have destroyed their own planet, right? And they're jumping all through the universes, all the cosmos. The cosmos. And then they find a planet that's safe that they can land on, that's got breathable atmosphere and water and food, right?
Did they? I didn't know that they found somewhere.
To them, don't they?
Ollie, they find a planet, and they land on the planet, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. And you go, "Oh, that's good," right? Yeah. And then what happens is it jumps forward like 1 million years to like modern day New York.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
Is that the argument?
Sorry?
Is that the argument?
Well, they've got a little bit more, mate. Because. And you like that. You like that ending. You like that plot, yeah?
I cried at the end of that.
Yeah, of course you did. And because it could work, couldn't it? They landed 1 million years ago, and then 1 million years in the future, it's New York, modern day New York. Yeah, you get that, right?
I care more about the characters.
Yeah, but that story was a believable.
No, that was
Shut your face, boy. You thought that was a believable ending, right? And I was thinking about this, and then boom, it hit me. That's exactly. I'm so angry with this guy, and with you.
Wait, I've not even got involved.
Because you're a scumbag. That is exactly my theory about us coming from Mars. Oh, but hang on a minute. My name's Ollie, and I'm Catherine. And I've got one voice. I'm Catherine, and I'm Ollie. And your argument about people coming from Mars doesn't actually hold water. Let me do this, because like all the technology. Why have we not got the technology? Yeah, she's right, actually, Ian. We don't have the technology. If they come from Mars, we don't have the technology. But hang on. In your favourite, and you've said this is your favourite TV programme.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. I can make it. I can edit it. I've got a tape of it. In your favourite TV programme, they landed on Earth with all of this tech. Be quiet. With all this tech 1 million years ago, and then it jumps forward 1 million years to modern day New York. So they lost all the tech. They had to start again. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying happened here. So Ollie.
Yeah.
So apologise to me.
No.
You're a scumbag and a troll.
Because I got a new argument.
Okay, but hang on a minute. Admit that my argument now holds a little bit more water because it ties in with BG.
Because the TV programme did it. Do you believe in Lost when Jack puts a big
Don't
call?
mention Lost. Don't bring Lost into this.
No, because Lost was fantasy. BG was science fiction. A big difference, buddy. Big difference. Big difference. The size of a cow difference.
Do you believe they're putting spies on an island and that's guarded by a big bubble?
What program's that?
That's Prisoner.
You're an idiot.
Do you believe
that's fantasy?
That there's Jedi.
No, you like BG. Excuse me. You liked BG because you thought it was believable and you thought the ending was great. The ending follows exactly my theory of how humans came to live and exist on this earth. That we lived on Mars and there was either a big war, maybe the robot army that Roger Daltrey's prophecy came true 1,000,000 years ago. Maybe there was I don't know. There was some kind of natural disaster, but we came to Earth and the technology somehow, whatever reason, I don't know the reason, Ollie. I don't know the reason. I can't tap into the DNA that would reveal it. I don't know, but we lost the technology, buddy. We lost it.
Why do you never let me speak and do my argument?
Because I'm trying to stop you embarrassing yourself, mate.
You can trace human DNA back to the beginning of life. So how would you
what does that even mean? That sentence doesn't even make sense. Go on, carry on.
So here's an article. First human ancestor looked like a squirrel.
Oh, what?
A squirrel.
You said a squirrel.
A squirrel.
Where's your evidence, Ollie?
That was from. That you can just type in Google.
I'm not going to.
ABC.net.
Oh, jeez, this guy's a joke. Okay, that's the first evidence. How have they? So they took some DNA from someone, maybe a sex criminal or something. They do that. They do experiments on paedophiles. We know that. That's why Rolf Harris. That's why Rolf Harris was in that school playground. Do you hear about that?
Yeah.
Rolf Harris in a school playground.
Apparently there was an artist in there and he got drawn in by the art.
Rolf Harris went into a school playground because he wanted to get wood. Now that sentence to me does not sound right. Go on, but here's the thing, right? So your phony scientists have found that it goes back to a squirrel? Are you nuts?
That's the first mammal that they can find.
When they went, thank you, Steve. When they reached Earth in the last episode of BG, they had to ditch all their tech. Oh, thank you. So the Cylons couldn't find them, right? So that's it.
We're good now.
We had to come to Earth. And we had to ditch all of our tech.
Sense, does it? I thought the Cylons were good.
It's your favourite programme, mate. You loved it. You said it was your favourite #1 programme. You watch it every day on DVD.
I cried. That's all I said.
You cried because you knew that that it made my story seem true.
No, because then where's the Martian DNA come from? You can trace all DNA back to single-cell life forms. Therefore,
you're a fanny.
Martian DNA from?
You're a fanny.
George Galloway's not impressed with this argument, Ollie.
The only way you could do it is if Martians came before any life came.
That's the wrong answer.
That's why they think that asteroids could carry single-cell life forms. And
you're just saying words now and hoping some of them stick. You've embarrassed yourself, Ollie. Say goodbye to the boys and girls.
I just wanted to call...
Unbelievable. That guy's a joke.
Still Richard Hatch, eh?
Sorry?
Apollo.
What are you talking about?
Apollo.
What?
Battlestar Galactica.
No, we're talking about the remake.
No, I don't recognise that.
OK, this is Talk Radio.
It's the late night alternative with that man, Iain Lee. On Talk Radio.
03444991000. Are you aware of antinatalism? Are you aware of it?
Tell me.
Oh, it's great. And I totally get it. Totally get it. It's a movement.
Is this to stop people having kids because it's irresponsible?
Raphael Samuel, a 27-year-old antinatalist from Mumbai, believes it was wrong for his mother and father to create him without his consent. Boom. I agree. Having kids is the most selfish thing you can do. It's selfish. You have kids because you want to have kids.
Well, what if you've got excellent DNA? It's only fair to share it, isn't it?
It's selfish. It's selfish to share it. It's selfish. Having kids is selfish. There's no other way. Did you? I don't know. I'm not necessarily prying, but me and my wife, we kind of had the conversation before we got married. Do you want to have kids? Because I wouldn't mind having kids. It's not a deal breaker, but we wanted to have kids, and then there came a point when we said, well, I think we're ready to have kids, and we wanted Kids, you're selfish.
My husband was very disappointed that we didn't have to try more than once.
We didn't. First go.
He thought that it was going to be a lengthy project. It wasn't. But yeah, we discussed it, and I think I was more bothered than he was. And I also remember, and this is the weird thing, because I totally haven't got that now. Obviously, it passes. But I remember a surge of really, really wanting a baby. I remember holding my friend's baby, and all my insides were kind of just like clawing. It was almost as if I just really, really longed for this baby.
Yeah.
But then, when we'd had our second, I knew that I was done.
Raphael Samuel, a 27-year-old anti-natalist from Mumbai, believes it was wrong for his mother and father to create him. So it's one of these question and answer things. Name, Raphael Samuel, age 27, appearance, alive and regretting it. Why? Because he didn't ask to be born.
Oh.
Neither did I, as it happens. No, but you probably aren't planning to sue your parents for giving birth to you. Antinatalism is a system of belief that holds that it is morally wrong for people to procreate, and a vast amount of human misery could be avoided by people simply not existing in the first place. A vast amount of human misery could be avoided by people simply not existing in the first place? Surely all human misery would be
and all
eradicated.
Human happiness.
It is a growing movement with adherents across the globe. See if you can find like an antinatalist group. Antinatalism has a long and respected pedigree. Forms of it crop up in Buddhism and Christianity, and more than one philosopher has argued that the optimal outcome for humanity is extinction. I love my parents, he writes on Facebook, and we have a great relationship, but they had me for their joy and their pleasure.
And if you're the second, often they have you for the first kid.
Yeah. They had me for their joy and their pleasure. He is absolutely spot on.
We all screamed that at our parents at some point, though, didn't we? I didn't ask to be born. I never hired a legal team.
He continues, isn't forcing a child... Oh, God, this is great. He says, isn't forcing a child into this world and then forcing it to have a career kidnapping and slavery? That is delicious.
Whoa. No one's forced to have a career.
You've got to get a job. You've got
not
to
a career,
work.
Though, is it?
No, you've got to work. All right, career is the wrong word. He's Indian.
Some people haven't got jobs.
Probably not his first language. You've got to go to school. That's slavery. This guy's great. This guy's cleverer than us. Let's see if we can get him on.
Thank God he was born. Thank God he was born. I'll thank his parents. He won't.
Get someone on.
I'm trying to find antinatalism. There's a antinatalism party UK, but they also seem to be anti-contact details.
He says the only reason your children are facing problems is because you had them.
Oh, my God.
This guy is brilliant. See if we can get Raphael Samuels on the show.
Really? Sounds like a pain in the arse.
Dear Mum and Dad, everything I am and everything I will ever be is thanks to you. See you in court. Wow.
See you in court?
That is great, man. That is great. I'm in. I am in. Good evening, CJ.
Hello. The Mars conversation really got my imagination going.
Well, don't let it go. Imagination can be a very dangerous thing in the wrong hands.
But, it's interesting because I wrote a book about Mars, and that's why I'm so fascinated by the planet. And it just
you know my theory on Mars.
I've got some validation for your theory. Actually,
of course you have, because it's a great theory. Go on.
1 million years ago, give or take, Mars could sustain an atmosphere.
Yeah, of course it could. I know.
Have water.
Yeah.
But the magnetic field of the planet diminished.
Yep, it did.
And it became what it is now. Now, back in your theory to what
hang on a minute. Catherine's just making the masturbation gesture.
Oh, God. That's what this conversation is. It's verbal,
Catherine just
self-pleasuring.
For those who missed it, you might have heard it on DAB. Rewind the tape. Catherine just went... and then did a masturbation gesture, CJ. I apologise.
Because both of you are doing it.
But the thing is, what he's saying is fact.
What he's saying is titillating you.
No, it's fact. No, Mars. It's Catherine. You can't even argue. It's like 2 + 2 is 4. It's a fact that Mars could sustain life, and then something went wrong with the magnetic field.
All right.
It's a fact. It's not even a theory. It's actually a fact. So, I apologise on her behalf.
Off you go, then.
Yeah, continue, please, CJ. Thank you. Don't do that again. That's rude.
No, you said what happened to all the technology?
That's one of the things. Yeah, maybe they had to destroy it so that the Roger Daltrey's prophecy couldn't come true.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah,
apparently that.
Okay.
But I was thinking, it's been a million years since we came to Earth from Mars, okay?
Thereabouts, yeah.
We've had a supervolcano, we've had massive solar coronal mass ejection, and we've had an asteroid impact.
Sorry, what now? What was that?
So in all that time...
Yeah, we've had a lot of natural disasters. That
No, what was that? Chronomassy what? Ejaculation?
No. It's like a super solar flare, which basically, if it hits the Earth, it fries everything.
Weren't Super Solar Flare, weren't they the band that the cast, members of Cast were in before they became Cast? Wasn't that Super Solar Flare?
No idea.
Okay, all right. Maybe I've got that wrong. I could have.
I had a pair of them. Go on. Anyway, fascinating. Crack on.
And if that super solar flare hit the Earth, all the technology would have been gone.
Yep.
EMP, wiped it all out.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because Kath says, "Oh, all right. Well, if we came down with all these computers, why haven't we still got the technology? Because it was a million years ago, right? It's like
technology.
My argument, CJ.
We've still got wheels.
My argument is, if you give a kid a floppy disk, right, and say, "Could you get all the data off that for me?"
Well, yeah, what is that?
If you give a kid a fishing net, they'll catch some fish.
Don't.
They would have kept the basic stuff.
Here's the thing, Clever. I was going to say, you're missing out your name because it's irrelevant in this.
Wow.
You're not as clever as you actually think you are.
Okay.
CJ is a wise man. I know stuff, and you're just embarrassing yourself here.
All right, I can live with it.
Okay, well, you should buck up
on this planet. In reality, with science.
Shouldn't have brought your genes with us when the clever genes.
Jeremy Kyle here for this.
Go on.
Step in and just sort you two out.
I think it's... Listen, genuine, this isn't even me doing a thing now. I believe we come from Mars.
There is validation to it. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, CJ. I really appreciate the support, brother.
There you go. That's legit. Everyone set straight there.
Good evening, Paul.
Hot damn. I believe you're talking about Mars right here and now. What's going on there? Tell me. I'd like to hear about that. Go on, what's happened there? I missed that conversation.
Please don't rerun the fun. Please don't.
How are you guys? Are you all right?
I didn't know. It's the next James Bond, Paul Innocent.
Well, it's always wonderful to talk to you, mate. But how did you get on with your what's it? Your camera thing. You did something like on camera, didn't you?
I filmed a couple of little pieces.
You didn't film it.
Well, no, the tripod filmed it. You filmed one that you messed up. I filmed a couple of little pieces for my potential new agent, and let's just say they came back with some feedback, some great constructive criticism.
Some notes.
I've got a new agent. I've got an acting agent, Paul. I'm going to be on Spotlight soon.
Done.
I'm going to be on Spotlight soon when we work out where the 150 quid's gone that we paid them. And then I just sit back and I'm just going to wait for the acting roles to come in. You could see me on Coronazione Street. I'm not going to say Coronazzi because it makes it sound full of Nazis. Coronation
Street.
Coronation Street.
Coronation Street for real, are you?
Rita Fairclough, love. I'll have a bag of penny chews, please, love. And
This is bloody amazing, really, isn't it? Really?
have you seen the price of these fags? Have you seen the? I'm Alec Gilroy's younger brother. Aye, that's right.
Alec Gilroy. It's been years since I've heard from Alec Gilroy.
Yes. Well, Alec's dead now, unfortunately. I'm his younger brother, and I've come to.
John Shuttleworth.
I've come to get his inheritance and actually take over the Rover's Return. Actually,
it's not bad, John Shuttleworth.
That was Virgin on Paul McCartney, then. Actually,
I would like to make love to the ghost of Bette Lynch. Actually,
oh God, is Bette Lynch dead?
Judy Goodyear, no, she's still around, but the character died, didn't she?
Yes.
No, she never did.
She died, actually. Yes.
What
of? Boobs.
Yeah.
Leopard skin.
The character.
Murdered by leopard skin.
Judy Goodyear, the actress, is still here.
She was chased through the Rover's Return. She was chased through Coronation Street by a pack of leopards who wanted their skin.
Yeah, well, they're all from Manchester, aren't they? Towards that way, really, aren't they?
Aye,
you know, that nasal quality, really, isn't it?
I beg your pardon.
Aye.
No. Well,
I'm Billy Connolly. Aye, Big Slipper. Aye, Big Slipper playing the banjo. Got a big slipper.
You're sounding Scottish now. You sound like you're Scottish.
I know.
now.
I'm Billy Connolly, and I'm playing a big slipper banjo.
It's more like that.
Hey, Billy Connolly is funny. I want to spend an evening with you, Paul. I want to spend an evening with you just doing voices.
Yeah, I wish you would, and we'll do it off air.
Well, let's do it now. Let's just spend the rest of the evening doing voices. Hey, buddy. What the hell are you doing? I'm here doing the voices. You're doing the voices. This could be something very, very special for the ladies and gentlemen of the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right here and now, just going on and on and on with different voices. I mean, this is amazing.
I don't understand a word this guy's saying. What is this guy, a Scouser?
What you are trying to talk to me is going to be...
Hang on a minute. Hang on, whose voice are you doing there? What's he doing there? Why, is it,
I don't know.
Can we do that?
I think that's an African, isn't it? That's not an African voice.
Well, if you're doing... Do you know what? If you're doing one...
No.
I'm doing one. Hello.
You can do that. Go on. I speak English, so why don't you do... Go on. An African.
Well, you haven't heard his African. It's quite offensive.
I'm from South Africa, my friend. I'm from South Africa, my friend, and I want to have a go on the slide, my lady. I want to go on the slide.
That's it. Johannesburg. It's amazing.
Let me do my Irish accent. What colour was he?
Like that is it not. You open your mouth now to come like that right here and now.
No.
The man.
What colour was he? That's a great Liam Neeson, but I can only do Liam Neeson at his most racist.
Neeson. That's a Northern Irish accent.
Northern Ireland from the Eiffel Tower.
I always find if you're doing Northern Irish, you got to say things like possibility.
It's a possibility that I may be coming to Northern Ireland with my car. What colour was he?
That's a Northern Irish accent, is it not? A possibility.
Possibility.
Unfounded, is it not?
Oh, and it was funny. Billy Connolly back again for Scotland with his banjo player.
I was on the stage the other day. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't take it.
My legs went into rubber and I'm playing the banjo in my big slipper. And I farted at the crematorium.
All right, now you're going back to Manchester.
Big sign saying crematorium, and I farted. At my granny's funeral, I farted loud, did a loud fart at my granny's funeral.
I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. I was at my granny's funeral and I shit my pants.
You shit your pants? Right here and now, was that right? I can't take that.
This is funny, man. Paul is great. I'm great. This is great. This is great radio. We're doing a tour around the United Kingdom.
I think it's amazing. It's always wonderful talking with you. I'm glad you got feedback.
I can do an impression of you.
I can.
Kath can do a really good impression of you. Do you want to hear it?
No, don't make me do mine.
Kath, do it. Kath can do a great...
Go for it. Let me hear it, darling.
Hello, I'm Paul Innocent. So good to hear from you.
No, I'm Paul Innocent. No, I'm Paul Innocent. What are you talking about? It's me. Good tanga.
It's amazing. It's very, very good.
That's been very good. I'm Paul Innocent.
Surprisingly good.
That's why. I'm the next James Bond.
Well, I'm flabbergasted here. I can honestly say it. That's not quite done as well as what Catherine did it there.
We can do.
You're pleasantly surprised.
You inspire us, Paul. You're my inspiration.
It's always nice to be that way, and it's inspiring talking to someone of your ilk as well, Ian. It always is.
Thank you.
Just you, Ian.
All right, Paul. Listen, nice to talk to you, buddy. Thank you for being such a good sport. I appreciate it. Lawrence, stay there. Come to you in a bit. Let's go to George. Good evening, George.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's been very interesting. How selfish do you think our Heavenly Father must be?
What, to have all of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must really is, if he existed.
Yeah, well, I suppose our Heavenly Father does exist. So
you suppose, I don't.
Has to be very selfish. But you also suppose that your home is haunted, so...
Oh! Yes! Right, OK, so this is the thing, right? So, the other day I was sat in the living room with my boys and then we heard a clatter in the kitchen. And we went out in the kitchen and on the floor was an oval-shaped... thing that just it hadn't fallen off anything. Hadn't come from this. It just fell on the floor.
And the creepiest thing about it, it's a pair of eyes.
Yeah, right. I've got it. I brought it in. This is freaky, right? This is what from nowhere it fell from another dimension, another time. I don't know. That's what fell on the floor.
Oh my!
Isn't it? Describe it, please, Catherine.
It's
freaky.
It's. Are you sure your boys didn't do this?
No, they didn't do it. And look how filthy it is. I've taken some of the dust off, but it's filthy.
It's kind of a hand painted. I would suggest by a child.
Yeah, we go. Probably a dead child from the Victorian era.
No, not Victorian. I wouldn't date it to that. I mean, I'm no Antiques Roadshow.
No.
But this looks like the sort of treasure my kids bring home from school. So it is very dusty.
Oh.
So it's an egg-shaped piece of plastic. Maybe that resin stuff. Yeah,
don't break it.
And it's been painted green.
Yeah.
And it's got like a rudimentary clown's face drawn on it.
And that fell onto the ground loud enough to make a very big noise. It fell. It came from. It hadn't been on the. There was nothing around it. The fridge was about 2 foot away, but that it had not been on the fridge. It couldn't have been under the fridge and suddenly flown out. It was nothing on the ceiling. It fell on the floor. That is freaky, huh?
It's just the beginning.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. It's terrifying. It's probably from a dead Victorian child.
No, there's nothing to be terrified about.
Stuff appearing in my house that I don't know about.
It's just the spirit world is going to play a game with you, Ian.
I want to play a game.
And you're going to become aware that there is something out there, and it will change your life. It's
maybe.
It's the one thing we agree about is the Mars thing. It's Mars was what the Bible calls Egypt, and
Here we go.
And this earth is Israel, and there were people here before the Exodus from Egypt, and those that came from Egypt were meant to kill everyone in Israel, but they didn't.
Well, I don't think. Well, this is why now we're going in different directions, because I don't think that we came from Mars to kill people on Earth. I don't think there were people on Earth. I mean, there was probably rabbits and stuff.
According to the Bible.
Ah, well, come on, dude. The Bible. I mean, it's a nice book, but it doesn't half go on a bit.
No, you.
Yeah.
42 years ago, Ian,
What's the anniversary going wrong today?
No, come on. I was taken through 5 months of very mystical experiences.
Yes.
Went through several exorcisms towards the end of it.
Okay.
It was all pretty dramatic, but I was made to suppose that a friend of mine who had passed away a few years earlier was guiding me to read the Bible from beginning to end, and then there were dark forces were trying to stop him from explaining what the Bible was.
But that's just mental health and/or drugs.
Sorry?
That's just mental health and/or drugs.
There was no drugs involved.
Well, then it's mental health. Then you had a breakdown or something.
No, that's a really silly thing to say.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm being silly for trying to put a scientific medical explanation on the bollocks that you're spouting. No. I mean, I'm the silly one here. Come on.
The last voice I heard in my head was January the 7th, 1977. Why have there not been any voices in my head since then?
Well, maybe you got better.
That's such a silly thing to say.
What to say? Well, hang on. Suggesting that you. Here's the thing. Right. Here's the thing. Why what you're saying is dangerous. Because there was a story in the paper the other day of a kid that died. Right. A kid that died from an African family because they did an exorcism on him because he heard voices in his head. They had him tied to a chair for days. They didn't feed him. They didn't give him water. His breathing was constricted, and he died because they thought that he was possessed by the devil. He wasn't. He was schizophrenic. Or what he was, whatever he was.
No, he was possessed.
Oh, George, shut up for a second, because what you've just said is offensive and is dangerous. That kid died. A kid died because his dumb family wouldn't take him to a doctor, right? And you have got the gall to sit there and say, "Oh no, he was possessed." What utter dangerous crap!
Back in the
crap. You're speaking crap and it's dangerous.
Why don't you listen, Ian?
Because you've just said a kid that died was possessed when he was mentally ill and his family killed him. So shame on you. What a ridiculous, horrible thing to say.
He was possessed. I'll repeat it.
Goodbye, George. Goodbye, George. Goodbye, George. What a ridiculously obscene thing to say. The kid died. It was in the paper yesterday or the day before. Maybe Monday. And this happens a lot with African families, right? I don't know if there is a specific nation in Africa that perhaps is drawn to it more, because Africa, as we all know, is a whole continent. It's not, it's all made up of different countries and things. I don't know if there is a specific country. So I apologise for being as vague as to say Africa. But it happened. A kid died. And kids die because there are Africans living in this country, right, who've got medicine, and they've got everything, the good and the bad things that we in Britain have to offer, and they still think if their kid is hearing voices, they're possessed by devils, and they do an exorcism on them. And this kid died. He was strapped to a chair. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't eat. And he died. He was mentally ill, right? they'd taken him to a doctor, who knows what they would have found? Who knows what treatment they could have given him to get rid of the demon? So, George, for Christ's sakes, man, don't come on and say that he was possessed. What a ridiculous, dumb, insensitive, rude, dangerous thing to say. Lawrence, stay there. Come to you in a minute. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
0344 4499 1000. Very, guy heavy tonight. How many women have we had? 2? 1?
Carrie, we had. Do we have Michelle? Or am I dreaming?
No, just the one.
Michelle was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, just the one. It's been very guy heavy recently. I get it. You know, men are the ones that are dumb enough to phone in a radio show. Women are far more intelligent, but always happy to change things around. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Lawrence.
Hello.
Hello, Lawrence.
I think you very passionately summed up my feelings about that last call. I don't know what he was talking about, really, but I'm not sure if he's very well himself. There we are. I might have a song for you, actually.
Okay, lovely, thank you.
Sum up the last hour or so of the show.
Yeah.
It's called A Ghost of Stephen Foster.
The Ghost of Stephen Foster?
By the Squirrel Nutzippers.
Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, well, hang on a second. Let's just dive straight in there. Let's do this.
Okay. Yes.
It's had 3 million views.
Yes.
Okay, I'm digging it so far.
That's Ken doing the belly dance.
Is it? There we go. That's a drop. The beat's about to drop. Here we go. Going to pick up in a minute, Lawrence?
Yeah, come up now. Now.
Oh, here we go. I like this. I don't want to hear any more. We're going to play. We're going to come back after the news at 12. We're going to play the Squirrel Nut Zippers and the Ghost of Stephen Foster. On your head be it, young man.
All right.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, just that I'm listening and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much indeed, Lawrence. And that was a great call. We'll play that at midnight and we'll see how we go. Let's go to Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hello?
Hello, is that Joe?
Yeah, it's mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Joe. What you got for us?
I'm just trying to see how you're doing, really. I've been a little bit concerned about you. You've been saying you're not doing very well. I don't know what that is, but I'm in recovery as well. I'm just coming up to 2 years sober.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. But I've just I've been listening to you for about a year.
Yeah.
6 months on and off. And I just heard you joking about you going out for drinky poos with some friends and stuff like that.
Oh, yes. I'm not going out for drinky poos.
Yeah, and just little things like that. It makes me think.
Well, listen, you're a good man. Okay, I'm not in a great spot at the moment, but that's kind of my thing. In terms of my recovery from drugs and alcohol, I was 13 years. I got to 13 years clean, and then towards the end of 2017, I'm going to be honest, I fell off the wagon, and I had 3 months of shoveling all kinds of crap up my nose. It was terrible. I had 3 months of relapse, and it was horrendous. And being unable to stop and lying to my friends and stuff. But now I'm just over 10 months clean again.
Well done.
So, and I'm doing the meetings, and I'm going to a few other fellowships to deal with a few other issues, of behaviour that is damaging to not only myself but to good people around me. And I'm trying to turn things around a bit, and stop hurting people and stop hurting myself and be a better father to my kids.
I've heard you talk about that as well in the last couple of nights. You've been talking about. It seems like you're putting yourself down a little bit, or you're being a bit hard on yourself.
No, I think I'm being honest, but without going into too much of the D.
Yeah.
Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know. I stood on a bridge a couple of weeks ago wanting to jump off. That's not a great position to be in, so something's not quite firing right.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do that things change. Nothing stays the same. You're in good form a year or two ago. Everything was great, and now it's not. And then in the future it'll be better. You know yourself. That's how it works. But I was just a little bit concerned anyway, and I've been thinking about it the last couple of days.
Well, you're a good man, Joe, and your thoughts are appreciated. You're not a journalist, are you? Do you remember, Catherine, when we had a thing after the Jungle of like people phoning up who were so obviously journalists? Like there was one woman who said that, "Oh, Ian, I'm an alcoholic, and what was it like? What's it like for you at the moment? Have you come off the wagon, Ian? Have you been drinking again recently? What does it feel like?"
And how are you spelling that?
Yeah. There was a bit of that, and here's the thing: I say the stuff on the radio show that I'm comfortable saying, and I keep a lot of it back. But the radio, the radio show is a very controlled environment. But then if it gets put in the papers and stuff, maybe I shouldn't say it. But then that is hurtful. My family read stuff like that. And I just have to accept that after the Jungle, I became a commodity. And people listen. Anyway. I'm not great, Joe. But I'm reconnecting with. I've got 2 sponsors in different fellowships. I'm sitting down with pen and paper again for the first time in a long time. And
going through your steps again.
I'm just finishing step 2 in NA, and I'm just about to start step 1 in another fellowship, and then once I've kind of pulled myself up out of the dirt a little bit, I can start looking at making indirect and direct amends, and I don't know, sorting shit out, because I've made a mess of stuff, man.
And there's no massive rush to do that. Just don't be so hard on yourself. Just let it. It'll all be all right in the end. Anyway,
Thank you, mate.
That's just it will.
You're a good man, Joe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
All the best.
Take
care.
No
worries.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
What a nice guy. I've probably said too much now already. So stuff's a mess, and I made things a mess, and I don't know. Have I said too much?
No, you're right.
Okay, fine. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. 2 hours have flown by. Who'd have thought? And for the first time this evening, the switchboard is empty. So now will be a great time to give us a call if you want to. We still haven't found out how the Garry Shandling theme goes.
We may never know.
No, we still haven't found out. And so someone's got to give us a call. We've talked about Daltrey's prophecy. We've talked about dirty penises. We have talked... what else have we... Have we talked... what have we filled 2 hours with?
Antinatalism.
Yes.
Possession versus mental illness.
Yep.
I think we know which one won that.
Yeah.
Crazy accents. And no mo.
There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You would be very, very welcome. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle. You can listen to us every single weeknight from 10 o'clock only on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Foster at the Hotel Paradise. This is what I told him as I gazed into his eyes. Rooms were made for carpets, towers made for spires, ships were made for cannonade to fire off from inside them. Camptown ladies never sang all they do. No, no, no. Camptown ladies never sang all they do. No, no. Stephen Foster at the Hotel Paradise. This is what I told him as I gazed into his eyes. Ships were made for sinking, whiskey made for drinking. If we were made of cellophane, we'd all get stinking drunk much faster. Camptown ladies never sang all the do-not. No, no, no. Camptown ladies never sang all the do-not.
Hang on, I wasn't listening. Is this song awful?
I think it might have started out promising.
Let's go a bit more. See, this bit's good. This bit I like. It's when all the singing, the droney singing comes in. I like this vibe. Hello? It reminds me of the, who's the Russian? The Russian band with the big quiffs. And they've made a film. And, who's the Russian band with the big quiffs? You know the Russian band with the big quiffs. No, don't Google it, because your brain's going to turn into fudge. They're in a film called Go to America. The ballad, not the Balalaika Boys. Yeah, you know the ones. They do Happy Together with the Russian army choir. I've seen they've got big quiffs. Very funny film. It'll come. 0344 499 1000. We have a guest. Tell us about who we have here and what we were just talking about.
Well, you know, you were talking about antinatalism. It was a philosophy. Actually, it's becoming a lawsuit in one particular case. Yeah. And we've got Amanda Sukanik.
Let's go to Amanda, who's I think is in. Are you in Chicago, Amanda?
Yes, I am. Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, very well, thank you. Thank you for coming on. I know Catherine reached out to you about 15, 20, 30 minutes ago.
And amazingly, you were obviously on Twitter.
I was, yes. I run the Twitter page, Antinatal News, and I somewhat daily present the daily news of antinatalism.
Get off Twitter, go out and breathe in the natural air and read a book. Get off Twitter, Amanda.
No, but I'm glad she wasn't in this case because we needed her.
Amanda, listen, there was a thing in the papers a couple of days ago. This gentleman who I think you know, Raphael Samuel.
I do.
Antinatalist. I'd never heard of the movement. And I'm reading, it's kind of like a slightly tongue-in-cheek piece, but I'm reading it. Yeah. And it says here, I love my parents. This is a quote from him. I love my parents, and we have a great relationship, but they had me for their joy and their own pleasure. It says here, I don't know how true this is, he's suing his parents for having it. And I'm reading this thinking, I can't really argue with anything that he's saying. I've got two kids, and me and my wife my ex-wife had those kids because we wanted those kids. We had them because... Right. We wanted them. It was a very selfish act. So give us a bit of the background, Amanda. What is antinatalism and how did you get involved, first of all?
Sure, absolutely. So antinatalism is an ethical position that's really been around for centuries, although the word itself, antinatalism or antinatalist, is very recent.
Right.
At least insofar as it's been applied to a philosophical position. And that was, around 2006 or so, initiated by the philosopher David Benatar, or also the Belgian writer Théophile Diderot. It's essentially an ethical position that states that it is unethical to procreate because suffering is inevitable, and there's no reason really to bring new life forms onto the planet. And this can extend not simply to human life, but also to animal life, all of nature, anything that is sentient and can feel pain.
Wow.
That there essentially there's no reason really to keep the same narratives going that we sort of know how life plays out. We know what happens. We know
it's not great, and it's painful, and
it's not a great story.
There's some little bits of joy, but there's a lot of tears, a lot of pain.
Absolutely.
You lose people, and then you die. I mean, it's not a great story, is it?
It's not. No, it isn't. It isn't. And there are lovely things along the way. There's many, many things in life that I adore and spend, much of my time, mulling over and enjoying and obsessing. But the reality of the price of that has always just, seemed to me to be quite a bit too high. So I came into all of this in 2010, 2011, because I discovered the videos of the YouTube-based philosopher in Mendham. And then from there, I just became more sort of enmeshed in the antinatalist community on the internet.
Well, you say the community. How big is the community? And is there kind of one antinatalist group, or are there lots of little splinter groups that have slightly different takes on it? What does it look like?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit hard to paint a picture of at times, too, and it's developed so much in the last 10 years. I would say before 2010, 2011, 2006, to be fair, there have certainly been groups like the voluntary human extinction movement. There's the child-free movement. Now, they weren't necessarily applying the word antinatalism to their philosophies and their movements, and they believe very different things. Like, for instance, Vehement, the voluntary human extinction movement, believes that humans should go extinct, but that the animals should be free to roam the earth and, propagate for all time. The child-free movement really isn't a philosophical movement. It's more about, sort of investing in your own life. There's a lot of good stuff to it, but it's not a philosophical movement. And then some antinatalists believe it is only human beings that should cease to procreate and go extinct. And then sort of the more ethilism perspective is that all life should go extinct.
Because because humans could, make the decision not to have kids, but animals procreate. It would get very tricky, wouldn't it? You'd have to go around neutering all the animals.
Although I've heard this thing about rabbits, they can have embryos, but if the situation becomes dangerous, they kind of absorb them in the womb.
Oh.
So it isn't...
Oh, wow, I don't know about that.
Here we go.
Hey, I may have dreamt it. Let me double-check it. But I'm pretty sure it happened.
That's a crazy, crazy dream. So, OK, so you started in 2010 just going online and finding a few forums and going... there are other people out there who dig this.
There are, yeah. There's been a sort of a massive, when antinatalism sort of came to YouTube, there was this massive explosion of interest with people, making response videos back and forth for years, and then it kind of blew up on places like Reddit and Twitter. And then, there's all just sort of very interesting things happening more recently, like there's I don't actually know exactly where it's based, but a predominantly Arabic-speaking Facebook page has over 40,000 members.
Wow.
And now there's all this incredible stuff happening in India, which is really just, nobody really saw coming. The last 2 days of everything to do with Mr. Raphael Samuel has been just a huge revelation, I think, to everybody.
Is it... We have it really easy over here in the West, right? Okay, we got money, we got food, and most of us have money, and most of us have food, and most of us have housing. And of course, if anyone who's been to India, as I have, and Pakistan in particular, but India as well, there is a lot of poverty, a lot of people with nothing, Is the movement bigger in India because of the poverty, do you think?
I
or
don't
growing
know.
in India?
I imagine that it may have something to do with it. I mean, I would suspect I have just as many questions at this point as to exactly the mechanics of what's creating the movement there and in other places as well. The explosion in India specifically of antinatalism. You know, there's a massive sort of meetup happening in India on the 10th called the Stop Making Babies meetup, which is, and that's very recent that any of that has been going on. So it's very much a thing that's developing, and I'm excited to sort of see where it goes.
Isn't there a danger that if all the right-thinking, careful, thoughtful people stop making babies,
oh God,
we get overrun with the opposite?
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I think that is a frightening idea that could happen, although, I mean, philosophy is not genetic, you know what I mean? And especially in an information age and the internet and stuff, people from all parts of life, all kinds of backgrounds are being able to, inform themselves about what life really is and what happens and what really are the consequences of procreation and the way that people really do end up feeling about their lives. And so...
and yet Trump won.
I suspect. Yeah. Oh, well, yes, of course. Oh, no.
So do you know this Raphael Samuel, the guy that got us talking about this,
yes.
do you know him then? Have you spoken to him?
I only really have known him in passing before the last couple of days. I mean, I certainly recognized his name right away. I know that he's commented on things that I've done, and but no, I've over just the last couple of days is the only time I really remember speaking to him.
I'm guessing this is going to be a court case that if it happens, and who knows if it's actually going to go through with it or not.
He is serious about it.
Is he doing it? He can't win. So but the very fact that me and Catherine are talking about it on the show is because of him saying he's going to sue his parents. The very fact that we've got you at such short notice, which is brilliant, and I'm loving this, Amanda, so thank you, is because
my pleasure.
No, thank you, and we'll get you back on again at some point. But it's because he's talking about suing his parents. So whether it happens or not is almost irrelevant because it's suddenly we know the word antinatalism.
Yeah, he's, there's this, and I not to speak for myself, but I mean, there's sort of a project amongst antinatalists of how do you get people to listen to this idea, because it's a very hard idea, as you can imagine, to get people to listen to. Often it's, people get very aggressive. People tell us to kill ourselves. People, become very, very, very aggressive.
Why are they telling you?
Topics. And so,
it's an extension of the if you don't like it, you know what you can do, isn't it?
I suppose so.
Yeah, exactly. They take it, when you tell people that they shouldn't procreate, a lot of people take that as saying, it's connected with their own sense of mortality. It's like, well, I can't have the homunculus in the future that's going to represent what I have been and what my life is. So they take it as almost like a threat sometimes.
It's the same kind of aggression, the same root of the aggression that vegans get, isn't it? Because actually, we kind of know that we can't argue with the morality of it.
Yes, and antinatalism is more often than not very heavily connected with veganism, actually.
Right.
So it's very much cut from the same cloth.
Well, here's the thing, Amanda. I've had this story open on my computer for a couple of days without reading it, and we do this radio show, and we kind of sit and we go through the papers, and then I just remembered, I've got this story that I opened a couple of days ago, and we read it on air as it was, and I was thinking, we'll have a jolly old laugh at this. But then going through the brief points they put in this, it's quite light and frothy. But the brief arguments that they take from this gentleman, I'm thinking, well, no, I can't argue with that. Yeah, no, having kids is selfish. Yes, life is there's a lot of misery. I worry. My boys are 7 and 9, but I know that they're going to get diseases, that they might break their bones, that they're going to have their hearts broken, that they're going to lose jobs, that they're going to all of this, and then of course there'll be joy, there'll be love, and there'll be happiness, and there'll be success and things. But I'm giving them a lot of misery in the next 50, 60, 70 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's heartbreaking. I know, and a lot of I want to say it's a lot of people that identify as antinatalists have had children.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Really?
Because we live in societies where natalism is is God, basically. I mean, that's what your life is supposed to amount to. It's what you have to do. It's what we're trained to do. It's what we're biologically supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it's, the societal pressures are huge, and so many people find themselves in a position where they've had children, and then we we essentially unfortunately have to tell them the bad news with antinatalism. But yeah, it's rough.
Are your parents still with us, Amanda? And if so, what conversations do you have with them?
Oh, well, my father is long past, but my mother is alive, and she's very, very supportive. I've been actively creating antinatalist artwork. I'm a sculptor and a filmmaker. For almost 10 years now. So she was at my movie screening for my antinatalist film. So she's very supportive about it.
What's the film? What's the film called? Where can we see it?
Oh, the film is called The Ethicist, and it's available on YouTube.
Brilliant.
And my YouTube channel is Forever Wolf Films.
Mm-hmm. Forever Wolf Films. And if people, because honestly, I find this fascinating, and we will get you back again, and maybe we'll be a little bit more prepared, to have a chat.
Sure, I love it.
But this is great. If people want to find out more about antinatalism, what is the Twitter feed that you are guarding?
Oh, sure. It is Antinatal News, one word, and I do my best to daily, mind the links and put up whatever is going on recently.
Yeah. P.S. The rabbit thing, it's true.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, if they don't get enough protein in their diet, they absorb the embryos, and they'll just give birth to a mass.
Oh no, please!
Goodness.
That's a horrible.
Yeah, I mean there are lots of pandas are basically natural antinatalists. They don't want to have kids. We force them to.
Pandas know it's just not worth it.
I pity the panda.
I pity the
exactly.
Hey Amanda, it's so nice to talk to you. I really appreciate you, and we will speak again, I'm sure.
Oh, it was my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on, and I look forward. Have a great night.
Thank you very much indeed. What
a nice, pleasant person, considering what she's talking about is probably the bleakest.
I can't argue with it, though.
No.
You can't argue with it. I love my kids, and I'm glad my kids are here, but you can't argue with that.
There is a delightful old couple, or there was a delightful old couple that lived opposite me.
Yeah.
And every day he used to take her to... She was ill for a long, long time, his wife, and they'd met when he was in the war, and he'd walk past her. I think they were in Holland. Holland or Denmark. And he'd walk past her sitting on a bench with her friend, and he said to his pal, hang on a minute, I need to go and talk to this girl. I'm going to marry her.
Hey.
And it was one of those situations.
Yeah.
They were together.
What colour was he?
He was a white guy.
Okay, I'm going to go for a walk for a week.
Anyway, they lived very, the happiest couple I've ever seen, and he was devoted to her, absolutely devoted to her, to the point where I had no idea how old he was because he was just always so active.
Yes.
Anyway, she died last year.
Oh, God.
And I remember thinking, as I saw him set out for this is really bleak, I'm sorry about this, but set out for the funeral and his family were all around him, I thought, God, that's what happens if you win.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. That's the best. It's the best you can hope for.
I mean, I suppose the extension of that is, he's got his family around him, but, I mean, God, fancy going through that.
We're all screwed. I've been worried a lot recently about the misery my kids are... I have, actually. The misery my kids are going to go through. And that's nuts. They're 7 and 9. Enjoy the joy at the moment. I can't. I'm thinking ahead to, divorce and...
Is that why we make childhood fun?
Sorry?
That's why we make childhood fun.
Because the rest of it sucks.
Yes!
From about 13 onwards, it just ain't worth the hassle. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've forgotten your name already, excuse me.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. A very smooth ad break. There with why does the computer just stop? It does that a lot, but it only does it around midnight. What, Sam? Come on, explain to the ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not your fault. I'm not having a go at you, but it's an odd glitch in the system.
I don't know why it does it. I'm assuming it's like where it's because everything's put in automatically.
Yeah,
it's like trying to update things.
It's the millennium
load
bug.
It. Yeah,
that's what it is. It's the millennium bug. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call.
Can I just tell you something? Because I keep getting tweets. Leningrad Cowboys.
Leningrad Cowboys. There's a Leningrad Cowboys. They made a movie, and they're a proper. It turns out they're a proper band. This is what they sound like. This is them with the red choir. Here we go. This is them doing Sweet Home Alabama. So they're all dressed in grey suits with ridiculous 2-foot quiffs. You wait, though. You wait.
They're actually Finnish, aren't they?
Are they?
I know some Finns. They're not.
You wait. They got the Moscow Red Square Choir. I don't know what it's called. They got those.
Red Army Choir.
There we go. Let me find one where it shows off the army. Hang on a minute. Let's try this one. Let's try this. We've had this song already tonight. Huh?
I think about you day and night. It's only right. Think about the girl you love, and all the time, so happy together. If I should call you up, invest your time, and you say you belong to me, and lose my mind. Imagine how the world would be so very fine, so happy together.
Here we go. It's nuts. They made a film. Where's the film? No one's calling in, so indulge me. Amazon. Let's go to amazon.co.uk. The Leningrad Cowboys. Isn't it Leningrad Cowboys Go to America? Go America. There we go. Leningrad Cowboys collection. Well, they have more than one.
Really? They're pre-Borat?
Oh, yeah, very much. Leningrad Cowboys Go America. Gosh, there's a trilogy. Sweet Lord. 1989, struggling rock and roll band, the Leningrad Cowboys, quit Siberia, their frozen bass player in the luggage for a tour of America. Their slave-driving manager secures a car from Jim Jarmusch and several very bad gigs. The undauntable band are then pursued across the states by their only fan and a fish.
I think I've seen that.
It's a great film. It really is an absolutely great film. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Simon. Good evening, Simon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've got nothing for you really, but I've got two questions.
Why do you always say that?
Just went to the button to cut you off there, dude. You're lucky that my brain is slow.
You're going to cut me off?
Yeah, because you said you got nothing for us, so it already.
Well, I've got two burning questions.
Well, then don't tell lies. What are your questions?
All right, should we start again? I've got two questions for you tonight.
There we go. Great, fantastic. I'll move away from the cut you off button then. This is going to be a great call. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, baby. Right.
Huh?
When you go to the ad break,
yeah,
and this is not just you, this is every presenter, do you put the volume up?
No, but the system probably does a little bit. Yeah, the limiters do, the compressors. I don't know. Yeah, probably. We don't. I don't. I've got no volume controls here. The system probably does. So you go and buy. Go and buy. Buy.
I do. I buy every product.
Good.
Because
that's the way it should be.
I like to keep you.
They're great products. They're all great products, and I support them, and I love them, and I respect them, and they feed me, and they feed my kids, and they feed my cats. My cats had cooked. My cats had after the failure of them eating eggs yesterday. Didn't like hard-boiled eggs. I cooked my cats chicken. All 4 of us had chicken today. I had the smallest piece. The chicken. Mwah! It was a success. The cats loved it, and then the youngest, one of the twins, Lucky, then went in the garden, and I saw her bullying an animal. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a mouse, too big for a mouse. Could have been a rat, could have been a starling. I don't know. But she was pouncing and jumping on this thing as it was running around.
She's got running around. Now,
yeah, she loves it.
You might be getting some presents then.
Sorry?
You might be getting
Hopefully,
some presents.
I do. If they want to keep staying there, they've got to start bringing me food.
Well, the weirdest ones I had, because I've got cats, and the weirdest things I've had a rabbit.
Yeah.
A whole rabbit.
Wow.
Brought in. I've had a mole. A mole!
I've had a vole. I've not had a mole. I've had a vole.
I mean, how do you get a mole? They don't come out of the ground.
Well,
they obviously do.
The cats go down. The cats can go underground. Everyone knows that.
Okay. What was the other question?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. It's just me being nosy, right? That's all. You know, like, you play music.
Yes.
Right. And obviously you can play 30 seconds of music, can't you?
Yeah.
Because of your license or something.
Yeah.
How is it then that you can play full songs, and then do you have to pay royalties?
No, because we'll have a PRS licence somewhere.
Oh.
The station will have a licence for us to play music. Podcasts
is different.
It's different. You've got up to 30 seconds. You can actually have a little bit longer if you are. What's the word?
Fair usage is
fair dealing. Fair dealing is what they call it in TV. Fair dealing is when they'll show clips of movies. Here's what they do on TV, right? If you want to show a clip of a movie or another TV program for free, if you go to a company and say, we want to show a clip of Rocky 2. We want to show 45 seconds of Rocky 2. They'll go, yeah, sure, not a problem. That'll be £5,000, right? So the way you get around that is you show a clip of Rocky 2, and then you have a little strapline underneath that says Rocky 2 available on Warner DVD. And then when you come back, you talk about it for a bit. You go, well, that was Rocky 2, and that was made in 1982, and it stars Sylvester Stallone. I think, and Sylvester Stallone wrote and directed that movie, and it's a great movie. Of course, you can buy it on DVD. But if you were, boom, then that's fair dealing it, because you've said what it is, you said where you can get it, you've kind of set it up.
You've given the credit where it's due.
You've given the credit, so you get it for free.
Okay, I get it. But like that, for example, the song you played that was on YouTube, that weird thing that you played after the news.
Yes.
Would you have to then pay that person royalties? Or
No,
not?
you're not listening. No, it's covered by our licence, our PRS licence.
Yeah, you still have to pay royalties even if you've got a licence.
Yeah, that'll be logged, and they'll be getting tuppence halfpenny off us. Yes. Well, no, because then you don't have to make an individual payment. As far as I'm aware, the licence covers everything. It gets logged. That goes off to PRS. And they log that. Beautiful. Bish, bash, bosh. And then the artist gets a nice cheque at the end of the year for tuppence halfpenny.
So if I create a piece of music and you play it every day,
yeah,
we'll go half on the profits.
Yeah, sure, certainly if you get it published. Thank you very much indeed for your call, Simon. Everyone's trying to make a buck off me. Everyone's looking for what's it? Everyone's looking for a buck and a dime.
Mm-hmm.
No, what song is that? Everybody, is that the rest of the Garry Shandling?
Yeah.
Everybody's hustling. That's it. Everybody's hustling for a buck or a dime.
Sounds a lot like Kenny Rogers.
It's John Lennon.
Oh, right, you need to do a different voice then.
No, everybody's hustling for a buck or a dime.
More echo.
No, everybody loves you when you're on cloud nine.
That's Virgin Into Me.
No, it's not called Virgin.
Yeah, it's almost why?
It's not called Virgin Into Me. It's everybody hustling for... Here's the thing. Most of John Lennon's solo albums are crap. Most of them are. Some great songs. Oh, some great songs. Oh, there's some great songs. There's some great songs. Number 9 Dream. Ah, Bow Cow Pussy. It's a great song. Mind Games.
Yes,
great
please.
Song. Here's the thing. Do you know what... Sally, I'll come to you in a second. Do you know what... You know this song? I was dreaming of the past,
Jealous
and
guy.
my heart was beating fast. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made
Jealous
you
guy.
cry. I'll finish it.
But I know it.
I didn't want to hurt you. But do you know what that was originally called? It's terrible.
Jello Sky.
Right, you're an idiot.
What then?
John Lennon. This is awful. This is awful. This just shows that, you know, sometimes...
Maybe Yoko came up with the proper
Here we
title.
go. Listen to this. This is terrible.
All right. The happy Rishi Kesh song.
Here we go.
Big pardon?
All you need to do is
No.
say this little word.
That's not the right one.
Happy Rishikesh.
That's not the right one. No, it's not the right one. Here we go. Hang on. On the road to Rishikesh. Here we go. Is this it?
On the road to Rishikesh.
Oh, John, no.
Now, how's he going to rhyme Rishikesh? Where's he going to go with that?
Put my coat on because I'm Nesh.
Here we go.
I was dreaming more or less.
On the road to Rishikesh, I was dreaming more or less.
And the dream I had was true. Yes, the dream I had was true. I'm just a child of nature.
Oh, blimey.
I'm just a child of nature. It gets worse.
I don't need much to set me free. Oh no, I'm just a child of nature. I'm one of nature's children.
Oh, no, baby, no.
But then, that's where the genius is. Then, he kept that in the old memory banks. Kept that in the banks. And then he turned it into one of the greatest apology songs of all
time ever.
It's a great John Lennon song. In the middle of a bath, I call your name. Oh, Yoko. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
It's such a good song, man. He wrote some really good...
Is that because he hadn't got a towel? Or he wanted a cup of tea?
It's such a great song, man. Imagine being so in love with someone, you just write a really silly song about them, but it's stunning.
I know they had a mixed-up relationship, but they were kind of adorable, weren't they?
In the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, I call your name.
He used to call her mother.
Oh, old-fashioned wise.
My love will turn you on.
It's a great song, isn't it? It's just listing really mundane things.
In the middle of a bath.
In the middle of a bath, I call your name. Oh, Yoko. It's a great song. Let's go to Sally. Oh, no. I knew it. My mouse has died. Hang on a minute. And I knew it was going to do this because this was flashing. Stay there, Sally. Panic stations.
What are you going to do? Take it out and blow it?
Well, I'm going to. If it's a battery, I'm going to. No, that just turns it on. There we go. We're on. Okay, I've turned it off and on, and that's bought me a few seconds. Juice. Good evening, Sally.
Hello.
We've got juice now. You're either going to get cut off in like 30 seconds. Or you're going to be on until, like, Julia Hartley-Brewer comes in.
Yeah.
Because we won't be able to cut anyone off. I just don't know.
So could you cancel all appointments, please?
No, I can't. There we go. I'm going to turn the mouse off because the battery's gone again. And then that's going to charge. That's going to charge it up. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
It would be batteries, wouldn't it, with Sally? By the way, I've not heard your... I've not heard you beep.
It'll happen. It'll happen in a minute.
I worry if it doesn't.
What are you reaching over for?
Because I want to give it a rub.
There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're in. Oh, I've buggered this.
Oh no!
Hang on, I've taken the mouse apart.
Sally, what can we do for you?
Go on. What you got?
Right. Okay. The picture of the eyes in the middle of the kitchen.
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
not. It's a round.
It's a rudimentary clown face.
Yeah, on like
Okay.
a sort of an egg, flat egg shape.
Imagine you've given your kids the wrong brush, right, and some black paint.
Yeah.
On a green, ill-painted egg.
Yeah.
That, and they're kind of like, they're half-arsed because they want to do something else. That.
It looks like it was painted by a Victorian orphan who probably died.
It doesn't. It looks like it was painted by one of my kids under duress and they want to do something else.
I think we need. Can we have a picture of it on Twitter or?
Yes. Okay.
But I was just thinking. This happened at my nan's house years ago, and we found out what had happened. There was during the course of a weekend, things kept appearing in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
And we finally figured out what was happening. Have you got?
There we go. Hang on a minute. There we go. Continue the story.
That's going to be disappointing.
This is why I wanted to get in there quick, because I could feel it was going to be a non-spooky thing. Have we got what? A lodger?
No. Have you got a gap between your kitchen cabinets and the ceiling?
Possibly, but this was nowhere near the kitchen cabinets. This is like 10, 12 feet away from the kitchen cabinets. You off, Kath?
I'm just going to go get me.
That's a big kitchen.
It's not. Well, no, it's not. It's not that big.
12 feet away from the cabinet.
I don't know what 12
in the middle of the floor.
I don't know what 12 feet is actually. Well, no.
What, it's you times 2?
It's quite a narrow. It's like a narrow, long kitchen. So it's not big. It's not like I haven't got an island or anything. It's a narrow, long kitchen, and the kitchen cabinets are at one end. This was at the other end.
Could it not have rolled?
Mate, 10 or 12 feet? No.
Okay. Well, no. I was going to say, have you got? Because what was happening with us is that we had this tiny little hole in the kitchen wall, and a mouse had been getting through and knocking stuff off the top of the kitchen cabinets.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that's happened.
You think it's mice?
Well, that's what it turned out to be for in my nan's house.
I think
she had a couple of mice.
Like here's the thing. Like George said, I think the house is possessed by demons.
No,
no, it was kind of. It's not. What are you doing?
I can't get a good shot of it because it's so crap.
Come here. I'll hold it. Let me hold it. Hang on a minute. Okay, you got it. Fine. So you're not touching it. It's got special powers.
If I was a ghost, that's a lot of effort for throwing a bit of.
Basically it's a dead child. It's a dead child saying, "Help me!
Gosh,
help me! I was murdered here 100 years ago in the Victorian era. Save me!"
Have you ever seen a changeling?
Now, that's the second time someone said changeling to me this week.
Is that a werewolf?
No.
No. It's a film with George C. Scott.
About werewolves?
No.
I think of The Howling.
It's about he moves into a house and it's haunted.
No.
And it's supposed to be based on a true story.
Based on my life story, it would appear. Preempting my life story for several years.
But that's quite a scary film. Anyway, so, yeah.
You know what the thing behind changelings is? If you had if you had a naughty or a pain in the backside kid, you would say that the fairies had swapped them at some point, and you've got this like fairy kid rather than having your own baby and the baby being taken by the fairies. Yeah. That's what changeling is.
Right.
Oh,
I've got a couple of them.
Okay. No. Well, I'm going to check that movie out.
It's a really good film, actually.
Okay, I'd like a scary movie.
It's a good scary film.
No movies scare me anymore. Right, I'm now going to try and cut you off, okay? But this might take some time.
Okay.
I'm switching the mouse on. Oh, Sally, are you there? Gone. It worked. This is Talk Radio.
Stimulating nightly emissions guaranteed to open your eyes and your mind. Oh, my word. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Last few minutes of the show before Paul Ross comes in. 0344 499 1000. I'm very excited and a little bit nervous because this Saturday I'm driving all the way 4 hours to a tiny little village in the southwest of England to go and interview Nic Jones, who we kind of played a few of his tracks on the show, and he's a folk singer, English folk singer, and I'd never heard of him until maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And there was a great documentary on 4 Extra about him on the way home. It's like, whoa, this is an incredible story. Really successful English folk singer, as successful as you can be. And then, recorded this album, Penguin Eggs, which I thoroughly recommend. And was sort of getting quite successful with that, and then had a massive car crash and should have died and got brain damage and couldn't play the guitar again. Incredible guitarist. And everyone thought that was that. And then about 10 years ago or so, maybe not quite as many as that, he did a little tour with his son. He doesn't do it now. And they said, anyway, I'm off to meet him and his wife, Julia, right? And it's a 4-hour drive. And here's the thing, she sent me like a little care package of, you can't get his stuff anymore because it's held up in illegal red tape. You can't get his early stuff. So she sent me she burned some CDs of his early stuff. She sent me a little DVD documentary that's officially released. She sent me like a little private DVD of him doing a concert with his son. And then they're putting me up in their house on Saturday night. And I hate stuff like that. Normally I would blanch at that. I don't hate that. That's rude. Normally I would blanch at that, and I did blanch at that when they said that. I said, oh, no, don't worry, I'll go back. I'll go home that night. She said, oh, no, it's a long drive. You'd be very welcome. We've kind of got, my daughter has got like a little annex and she'll be away. Or there's a hotel nearby. And I said, oh, I'll get the hotel. She said, okay, it's fine, but honestly, it's no bother. And I went, do you know what? Yeah, that'll be wicked. That'll be really kind. And so I just emailed her a couple of days ago and said, just checking we're still on for Saturday. I'm hoping I'm going to leave about 10, probably stop and, have a coffee or somewhere. So I hope to be there about 2:30 or 3. She said, OK, that's fine. Is there anything you don't eat?
Oh.
I know. Is there anything you don't eat? Wow. So either she's conducting a survey or she's going to cook for me. Well, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
And I replied, no, I eat anything. I don't drink, but I eat anything. So I really hope I do the interview justice, because they're being so... I've never had any interviewee and their partner be so accommodating. And accommodating in a really lovely... he's not selling anything. He's got nothing new out. He's not touring. He hasn't toured for years, and he probably won't tour again, I don't think. I think he's not particularly well. His injuries are kind of catching up with him in his old age. So he's not selling anything. They're just really grateful that someone is driving 4 hours to go and have a chat with him about his music and kind of keep the name going, I guess. So that's happening this weekend. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous, actually, because I want this to be a good one. I want to do them justice.
The great thing about this, because you're staying, is that you've not got the time constraints that you'd have if you were just going to meet someone.
Do you remember Steve Guttenberg, when I realised we'd run out of tape, or the batteries had died at the end of it, and you were going, we could go back and ask him to do something?
Not Steve Guttenberg.
Not Guttenberg, Goldblum. Goldblum. I say Steve Guttenberg because he was also very accommodating when I interviewed him both times. He met us in New York, didn't he?
Yeah.
He stopped a busy PR day to come and meet us for an hour so we could have some food and chat to us. That was incredible.
He was
wasn't
so
it?
charming. I thought it was great.
But so I'm thrilled. So we're going to play that one night next week, and it's going to be one night, and we'll probably kick off the show with it, because I'm really keen for people to hear it, and I just hope I do it, him and his music and his legacy and his family, justice, and get something quite... I'm hoping it's going to be something quite special. And here's the thing. I don't really like English folk music, okay? And I've always struggled with it. But this album, Penguin Eggs, is a great way in, because it's English folk music, but actually it's not quite. He's kind of taken it somewhere else. And then I've worked backwards and I've listened to his albums, and they're great. If I'd listened to them a year ago, I'd go, I don't know. But working backwards seems to be the key, and they're absolutely great. But I don't know much about him. I know about the car crash that nearly killed him, and I don't want to make the whole interview about that. It's obviously a pivotal moment in his life, but actually I kind of want to celebrate the music more than... So tell us about the car crash that nearly killed you and put you in a coma for 6 weeks. Tell us about that. Here's an interesting thing about people in comas. Come in, Poros. And I've heard this from several different people. that if you're in a coma for weeks, you quite often forget how to speak, which depending on what part of the brain is damaged. You forget how to speak. But the words that everyone seems to know are the F word and the S word.
Wow.
They're the ones that come back.
That.
There was a documentary about a Cornish playwright.
Yes.
And Nic Jones was the same. And I've heard it from other people. That you come out of a coma and you can't speak because you've forgotten how to. You've got to learn English again. But you can still say F and S because apparently they're such emotive words that the F word can mean anything. It can mean sex. It can mean I'm angry. It can mean I love you. It can mean I'm really hungry. It can mean I've had enough of this. Take it away. It can mean all of this. And and they're the kind of things. So if you go to a stroke ward, you'll quite often hear just old people F, just constantly swearing. And it's because that's the only word that is. It's a massive generalisation, of course, but it's the only word that is kind of they've retained after the brain damage. It's amazing, isn't it? Hello, Paul Ross.
I was going to come in and say plant for Mrs. Christophilus, but that would spoil the mood.
Go on.
Quote from Hell's a Poppin'.
Oh,
Plan for Mrs. Christophilus.
Hey,
Plan
that's
for
the
Mrs.
running
Christophilus.
gag, isn't it? He's running around to the whole
with
thing.
A giant plant.
I've not seen it for years, but it's a funny film.
I must say, I've not seen it for years either, and the film was a bit of a flop. The show ran on Broadway for years, and it got dissed by the critics in their hood, as you young people say.
Yeah.
But it survived because
everyone
it was
loved
so
it.
mad. It was
From the
Olsen and
critics.
Johnson, I think, with a comedy duo.
Olsen and that was it. Yes, right. Okay.
Plan for Mrs. Christophilus.
And he's just running around with this big plant.
It's the first time I ever saw the gag when you see a guy coming on carrying an enormously long ladder.
Yeah.
And they're talking and doing a bit of patter in front, and then the same guy carries the other end of it. He's just run around the back of the curtain.
Oh, do you know what?
That's a genius
I'm
gag,
having
isn't
that
it?
this week. I'm having Hell's a Poppin' this week. It's a great film. What have you got for us tonight, please?
Well, on the show tonight, brace yourselves, Britain, we have got Josh Rom, but he's been on the red carpet with a film that I think my grandsons and your boys and your kids might love, The Kid Who Would Be King.
Oh, yeah, no, we want to see this.
Yes. And Josh has seen it.
We want to see this.
And he's got Sir Patrick Stewart an interview for us, which I'm looking forward to. He plays
Written
Merlin.
by, isn't it written by Joe Cornish from Adam and Joe?
Yes, that's right. Yes,
We've seen the trailer for that. Basically, if you've not seen it, it's like King Arthur, but set now with this kid who's getting bullied. He runs onto a building site and he just pulls this sword out of this stone.
And he selects his knights from kids at school, doesn't he?
And they go, well, we're not. This table isn't round, and so he lifts up the flaps of his mum's dining table. It looks so funny. Okay, brilliant.
So a bit of that on the programme, and we're doing some film reviews, including there's a big new one, Alita: Battle Angel, which is I think produced by and maybe adapted by James Cameron, which I'm uneasy about because the huge publicity often means like with that dreadful King Arthur film from Guy Ritchie a couple of years ago.
Okay, yeah.
They go so mad on the posters, they want a quick return. It could be a stinker, but we'll find out. We'll get the review on that one. And we're also to a fascinating story from near Tonga, where an island has emerged. It's only been above the sea for about 2 years, okay? And NASA, slightly creepily, more how have been the first people on it scientifically.
Of course they have.
And NASA have been there because they say, and we're talking to the lead scientist from NASA live on the programme, they say it's because we don't know enough about islands. Hang on. What have islands got to do with NASA? So I'm looking forward to that one. So it should be a good story.
Mate, he's not going to tell you the truth. He's going to lie and cover up. You're part of a conspiracy.
It's being so trusting that keeps you going.
You're part of a conspiracy. Don't believe a word this guy says.
Isn't that a great story, though?
That's incredible.
Human beings set on a new island.
How big is it?
I don't know. I know it's this kind of slimy, volcanic-y material.
Right.
So whether they're... who knows? Who knows?
But isn't it something that... We know more about space than we do about under the sea.
So, well, we had a guy on the other day talking about oarfish, OAI fish, and they're basically 30-odd feet long, and they're like sea serpents, and they live half a mile below the sea. Now, the reason we spoke to this American academic, or Canadian academic, was because there's a legend in Japan that when these things surface, there will be a tsunami or an earthquake.
Right.
And some did come up before the last major one in Japan, tragically. But, of course, he had a perfectly rational explanation. But they look like if you look up oarfish, they look like the most primitive, scary-looking, completely benign. They only feed on plankton, but because they look so astonishing, the rare occasion they come to the surface, that's where we think the whole notion of sea serpents came from.
I don't like underwater. It's horrible. The things that live there are disgusting.
Have you ever been whale watching?
No.
It's incredible.
Disgusting.
It's incredible. You can totally see why sailors thought they were monsters.
Many years ago, I went down about a quarter of a mile in a bathysphere, and that was wonderful.
What's that, like a tiny sub?
It's a kind of... and they winch it down. It's very old.
Were you not terrified?
Oh, I loved it. It's
really?
It's absolutely astonishing down there.
No,
I would be very uncomfortable.
Well, it was all window one side, so you don't feel claustrophobic. And this weird kind of... It was a kind of squid, I can't remember which one, came up, and that was about 4 feet long. But it was obviously curious. It was just so bizarre. I'm thinking, I'm looking at something as alien as anything I'm ever going to meet until I met Julia Hartley-Brewer.
I mean, come on now, wow. Outrageous behaviour from Paul Ross. Thank you, Paul.
But as we know, it's on your watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's me that gets the rollicking.
No, it'd be me.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
And Bernard Cribbin's apparently still alive.
Is he? Okay, Bernard Cribbin's update. Well done.
Cribbin's watch.
That's it. That's your lot. Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you, Catherine. Don't forget, dear listener, we've got podcasts aplenty. We've got the best of this, the best of. I mean, really ridiculous.
Shut up, it is.
Sorry?
I get paid for it.
Okay. And there's also, if we have a guest on, we put a podcast out. And don't forget, we do a Rabbit Hole podcast as well, which is where we kind of tour the country.
That's out at 2:00 this morning.
Thank you very much indeed. And we do a phone-in show live in front of an audience.
T-shirts available?
T-shirts are available. Oh, you plenty of stuff to sell.
And for Mrs. Christopoulos.
This is Talk Radio, dear listener.